Today's episode is brought to you by thisdayinthenfl.com. Celebrating football's greatest moments, one day at a time. Listen to classic broadcasts, explore historic games, and keep the legacy of the NFL alive at thisdayinthenfl.com.
And the Denver Broncos will be kicking off from left to right. They're getting ready to tee up the ball at the 35-yard line, and Jim Turner will do the kicking. Now, when you talk about Turner, you're talking about an 11-year veteran from Utah State, 6'2", 205 pounds, and he could set a record this afternoon. Myron will talk more about that as we go along. So Denver has it teed up at the 35-yard line. The Steelers are deployed. And in that blocking screen, up in front of our receivers is Rocky Flyer, who'll take the kick that's short. Turner moves forward, and he's going for the short kickoff, and Denver bobbles the ball around and recovers it. Denver has recovered that kickoff, a short kickoff. There was a delay in the signal, but there was no question. The kick has to carry 10 yards. It carried 10 yards before it was recovered by Maurice Tyler at the Denver 46-yard line. And that means that the Broncos have the football on the free kick.
How about an onside kickoff to open the ball game? My goodness, that John Ralston has got the daring do, and Jerry Simmons in on the recovery, an ex-Steeler.
That's what you call opportunistic football. Haven Moses to the right. Bill Van Heusen splits left. Lloyd Little and Otis Armstrong are the running backs. The handoff to Little, driving off the right side, trying to turn the corner to 45. This one a tackle from over the 50, driven out of bounds to Steer, 47.5-yard line. Glenn Edwards got him after Jack Ham couldn't handle him. And the former runner at Syracuse University could not find the hold-off tackle, came onto the outside, brushed away Jack Ham, moves the ball to the Pittsburgh 48-yard line for almost a 7-yard gain. Second down and 3 yards to go. And Denver has pulled a tricky play to start the ball game.
They must have practiced that all week, I'll tell you. They did it expertly.
It was well done. All right, here's Charlie Johnson handing off. John Seaward starting in there in place of Otis Armstrong. And that was a surprise starter. And Seaward takes it to the first down at the Pittsburgh 45-yard line. That will be the initial first down of the ball game. Seaworth is a rookie from Colorado, 6'3", 230 pounds. Now he's coming out and they're alternating. So Little is back in there. We're going to see a little shoveling. Floyd Little, 7-year veteran from Syracuse. Otis Armstrong, second-year man from Purdue. Denver has the ball at the Pittsburgh 45-yard line, and the whole start of this game was set up with a short kickoff by John Ralston's club, and I like that kind of football. They took the chance, and they handled it beautifully. They send Van Heusen out to the far side to the left of the quarterback, bring Haven Moses to the near side, and they've got the running backs in the wide set. Charlie Johnson goes back. He fires downfield, complete at the 30, to the 20, the 15, Otis Armstrong goes in for the touchdown. Beautifully executed pass. Otis Armstrong coming out of the backfield, pulled it into the 30, took the middle of the Steeler defense, and went into the end zone, standing up to score. Denver takes the lead 6-0. And that was a 45-yard pass and run play. And they were right between Mike Wagner and Glenn Edwards for the TD.
And Jack Lambert, the middle linebacker, also trying to defend on that play. He slipped right through him, and Charlie Johnson on the play had terrific pass protection from his offensive line. They just gave Charlie too much time to throw, and when they give the old man that, he knows what to do with it.
Jim Turner will try for the point after. Charlie Johnson will hold. A lot of years in football between those two. At the 9, the ball is down. Turner kicks it. Good. Denver has a 7-0 lead in the ball game.
Well, I'll tell you, the Denver Broncos are playing daring football, keeping the Steelers off balance with an onside kick. Now the first time touchdown throw right off the bat, bing on first down.
Here's the kickoff. Turner down to Steve Davis. Davis at the 4, coming out over the 10, the 15, to the 20, cuts to the left at the 25, and he's nailed at the 26-yard line. They were right there to get him. Lonnie Hepburn, 3-year man from Texas Southern, made the stop. And the ball is spotted at the 26, 1st and 10.
We may find as this game goes along that Steve Davis dropping a third down pass from Joe Gilliam that would have gotten the Steelers out of the hole. That mistake may prove to be a fatal one for the Steelers, but we'll just have to see how things work out.
Marked in from the near side of the field, the Steelers 1st and 10 at their own 26. Ray Mansfield goes over the ball. Looks at a 5-man front. Gilliam drops back, fires to the far side, complete at the 35-yard line to Lynn Swan. The number 1 draft pick, the rookie from Southern California. The pass played at the sideline, picks up 8 yards. Bill Thompson was the man he beat on the play. So the Steelers picked up 8 yards. Now the referee has brought the ball back to the previous spot. Come on, gentlemen, let's get together out there. We picked up 8 yards. Tommy Bell from Lexington, Kentucky is trying to take it back from us. Bell looks to the other side. Great little guy. He waves a couple of times at the official over there as though to say, why didn't you tell me it was complete? That will be the first completed pass for Joe Gilliam this afternoon. He's 1 of 2. We have a 2nd down 2. What would you do here? Hit him with a bomb?
He's into his 2-minute offense. He's got room to work now. Joe brings it on a little early, but he's got his 2-minute offense.
All right, here we go. We're in the I formation. Steelers with the football. Gilliam, the quarterback. Gilliam gives it to Steve Davis, finds the hole over the right side. He drives to the 38-yard line. Got a couple of Broncos trying to pull him back, but he had the first down, I do believe. Bill Thompson and Johnny Rouser teaming up on the stop. And they will spot the football at the 38-yard line. The Steelers' first down of the afternoon. Mark it up at the 39, where they finally put it down. Rouser, 6'1", 190 pounds, 8-year veteran from Michigan, came to the Broncos for a draft choice that eventually gave the Steelers John Stallworth, the fine rookie receiver we have this year. All right, Pittsburgh on offense. Far hash mark. First down 10 at the 39. Back goes Gilliam. They're after him. The blitz is on. Here he throws to Davis. Complete. Comes over the 40. It's the 45. Galloping over the 50. Makes the tackle. Denver 45. Denver 40. Reverses his field to Denver 30. Still running. He's going to cross the field. He's through 15 to 10 to 5. Touchdown Pittsburgh. Steve Davis. Joe Gilliam got rid of it out to the left, and they had the rush on Gilliam. He fired it under duress to Davis, and Davis gave us a run you wouldn't believe. The play covered 61 yards, and Davis covered a lot of territory, breaking great tackles coming to the near side, going into Denver territory, and then angling to the far side, and finally crossing the goal line in the far corner next to the Holiday Inn.
I'll tell you, safety man Charlie Greer had the real shot at him at the sideline right under a booth along the Denver 41. Steve just broke that tackle, then he gave him the zig and a zag. Unbelievable run.
My friends, we have ourselves a ball game again. Girella kicking. Wall in the holder. It's down. Roy kicks it. It's good. Tied up at 7-7. Steelers football continues after this brief timeout.
Boy, I'll tell you, not since 2 years ago when Glenn Edwards returned a punt for a touchdown down in the Houston Astrodome have I seen a Steeler run such as Steve Davis just pulled off. Took a little pass from Joe Gilliam in the backfield, outran one defender to get around the corner, then broke a tackle at the Denver 41 where Charlie Greer came up to meet him, a Denver safety man. And then it was just, you didn't know where Steve was going, bouncing off people, eluding people with great moves, and then turning on the speed. 61 yards for a Steeler touchdown. We've got a 7-7 ball game, and only a little more than 5 minutes gone in this ball game. Some kind of start, huh, Jack?
Did anyone notice what happened to Gilliam on the play? I saw him coming at him. He released the ball. It appeared to be a safety valve maneuver out to Davis, who just came swinging out to the left side.
Here's the replay, Jack, if you want to look. We got a monitor for a change.
And on that replay, we see him breaking tackle.
What a cut.
All right. Denver with Otis Armstrong and Bill Thompson deep. Girella kicks off. Coming down to Otis Armstrong. Knocks it down inside the 10. Picks it up at the 8. Here he comes over the 15. The 20. He's breaking loose over the 30, the 35, the 40. And brought down at the 40-yard line on the near side of the field by Lawrence Hayes. Holy smoke. An explosive football game. Otis Armstrong knocked it down at the 5, picked it up at the 8, returned it to the 41-yard line. First down 10, Denver. John Johnson lines them up. The Broncos at their own 41. Now they send Haven Moses a little wider to the far side as the flanker. Here's Johnson giving the handoff on the delay to Floyd Little, and he's stopped. Everybody waiting for him at the line of scrimmage. Waited for that hold open, and Little came looping into it and ran right into Joe Green and L.C. Greenwood, and they're going to give him about a yard.
Yeah, though Joe did not make the tackle. He closed up that hole. At the last second, Lyons took him out of the play, but Joe was the guy who stopped the play, really, by moving in there where Little had good running room.
Second down, 9 yards to go. Now we have Greenwood, Green, Holmes, and White in the front four. Ham, Lambert, and Russell are the backers. J.T. Thomas, Mel Blunt on the corners. Mike Wagner and Glenn Edwards are the safeties. Charlie Johnson with a wide slot to the left. Johnson looking, throwing to his slot back. That is good. Little takes it at the Pittsburgh 45. Knocked down by Jack Lambert at the 40-yard line. And Little coming off that wide position. Very difficult to handle. As Charlie Johnson throws his third pass, completing his second one. And the Denver Broncos have picked up their third first down. Now they've got Haven Moses as a wide receiver, Bill Van Heusen a wide receiver, Riley Odoms their tight end, Claudia Marner, Laren Jackson, Bobby Maples, a former Steeler, Tommy Lyons, and Mike Current, the interior lineman. Riley Odoms, the tight end, splits out to the left. He goes wide now. They bring Haven Moses over in the slot on the right side. That gives them three wide receivers. Here's Johnson looking for one of them, and there he goes. A diving catch. Did he hold it? Haven Moses inside the 10, and he goes down at the 3-yard line. Haven Moses beating Mike Wagner on the play. Making a diving catch inside the 10, goes down to the Steelers' 3.5-yard line. First down for the Denver Broncos inside the 5. And Myron, you saw yourself a receiver who could move.
Well, I'll tell you, Haven Moses can move because he got out beyond Mike Wagner at that time, and Charlie Johnson had only taken 3 quick steps back and then fired, so he had to be down there awfully fast. Johnson takes that real quickie drop back, and you don't expect him to throw long. You expect him to just throw those little pity fat passes, but he pulled the Steelers that time.
Ball is inches inside the 4-yard line. They break huddle with Haven Moses coming to the right, and Jerry Simmons split to the left. Simmons now in his 10th year came out of Bethune-Cookman. Seaworth and Little are the running backs. Charlie Johnson looks to pass into the end zone, batted down as it came over the line of scrimmage. Mike Wagner got a hand on the football, and he was looking in the end zone for an open man, and that appeared to be once again Haven Moses. Incomplete pass. Johnson has thrown 6, completed 3, 1 for a touchdown. And now they switch. Billy Masters comes on to give them a second tight end. And that brings Jerry Simmons off the field. So Odoms and Masters are the tight ends. And now they give indication that they might want to go to their ground game at this point, 3.5 yards away from pay dirt.
Nothing timid about Charlie's strategy here today, is there?
Haven Moses is back in. So they go with one tight end again. And Bill Van Heusen is in there. Johnson looking for Moses. Great catch. Haven Moses over J.T. Thomas. Great reaching two-hand catch. The Broncos score again. That is the 7th pass thrown by Johnson. 4 of them completed, 2 for touchdowns. And the Broncos lead in the ball game 13-7. And now Turner is on to try for the point after. All of this happening in the first quarter. We have 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining.
J.T. Thomas could not stay with Moses on that race to the corner of the end zone. That Moses is really giving it to the Steelers.
7-yard scoring play and a fine catch by Haven Moses. Came off his wide position and angled straight into the corner of the end zone. Ball down, Turner kicks. It's good. So Denver moves out to a 14-7 lead. 2 minutes, 36 seconds to play in the opening period of a wide-open ball game here at Mile High Stadium.
I tell you, that was Tim Turner's 999th point. When he gets one more and reaches 1,000, they're going to stop the ball game, and give him the football.
They're not having a good day.
And what we have seen here today is the Steelers put off balance by surprising Denver tactics. Denver opening the game with an onside kickoff. Things like that. Charlie Johnson throwing deep when you expect him to largely confine himself to short passes. You know, he's not mobile. He's not as mobile as he used to be, what with having had 6 leg operations, 6 knee operations, and 4 shoulder operations. He just likes to drop back there short and toss the little ones, but he's taken the Steelers by surprise with his bombs. And it's a tough afternoon in store for the Steelers. There's no doubt about it. They trail the Broncos 14-7, and there are still 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter. So it looks like a lot of fireworks out here at Mile High Stadium.
Well, when I was looking at what turns out to be a timepiece up there, it said 2:37. It's 7:07 to play.
Yeah.
I got the time hidden down at the bottom of the scoreboard. Somehow I picked it up. Now it's 2:38. That clock's turning in the wrong direction.
They've only played half a quarter and scored 21 points already, these two teams. And golly, with Cincinnati losing today, it behooves the Steelers to win and get a leg up on those Bengals.
Turner kicks off left to right. Jim Turner kicks away. Takes Preston Pearson 5 yards deep in the end zone, and he'll let it go back there. Steelers will put it in play at the 20-yard line as we trail the Denver Broncos 14-7.
Well, Joe Gilliam will go back into action now with a little bit of room out at the Steelers 20, and I think that we'll see Joe go right back into that 2-minute offense. You give him a little room, and he loves to throw the ball, and the last time the Steelers had it, it sure paid off when he tossed a little pass in the backfield to Steve Davis, who went all the way.
Steelers at their own 20-yard line. First down 10. Joe Gilliam is the quarterback. Gilliam gives it to Franco straight ahead, right up the middle, 5 yards to the 25, and Lyle Alzado at the bottom of the play for Denver. 6'3", 252-pound defensive end. He is from Yankton. Barney Chavis at left end. Steve Duranko at left tackle. John Grant at right tackle. Alzado at right end. Lasky, May, and Jackson are the linebackers. Rouser and Jones on the corners. Thompson and Greer are the safeties. And we're looking at a very fine football player and a very fine gentleman in Ray May, who was a favorite when he was with the Steelers before going to Baltimore. And I talked to him in Chicago on one occasion. He said he owes an awful lot to Mr. Art Rooney, who remains a good friend of his, for the start he gave him in pro football. Here's a quick flip. And that turns out to be a screen pass intended and taken by Lynn Swan. And Swan gallops up the far sideline and is out of bounds at the 32-yard line. And he was driven out by Mike Simone, 3-year veteran from Stanford. Swan in that situation just took a couple of steps back, and they flipped a quick shot to him. A little screen had formed out there, and he found his way to the 32 for a first down.
Yes, Gordon Gravel out there putting a block on Johnny Rouser, the ex-Steeler, who is a starter here in Denver.
Here is Gilliam throwing to the near side now at the 35-yard line to Lewis. Lewis had it knocked away, and the Broncos have it. And Simone is going for the end zone, and they're going to let him go in there and score, I believe. Nope. They say he was stopped just short of the goal line. Inches. Very close judgment play.
Well, I'll tell you, Melvin Jones hit Frank Lewis. Defensive back Calvin Lewis tossed up the ball, and number 51, Mike Simony, or Simony, I'm not sure how it is. He recovered the ball. He didn't know he could get up and run, then he realized it, and he got up and run, and he carried it down practically the goal line, where John Kolb and Joe Gilliam stopped him.
So the Broncos less than a yard away from the goal line. Flanker to the right. Hand off for a drive to the end zone on the side. John Seaworth. They say he broke the plane and scored from 1 yard out. over the center into Jack Lambert. He makes it across the plane to the goal line, and the Broncos have capitalized on a big play.
So the Steelers are down now by 13 points, and Jim Turner goes after the 1,000th point of his career. And I'll tell you, the Broncos are taking advantage of all the opportunities. They're making the big plays, such as that fumble that Calvin Jones forced on the Frank Lewis pass reception. They're making the big plays, they are.
Here's Turner going for the point after. The ball is down at the 9. Turner kicks. It is good. Denver leads 21-7 over the Steelers. And one of the officials steps to see in between L.C. Greenwood and one of the Denver Broncos to break up a little bit of ill feeling.
Zach, I can't hear you up with this noisy stadium, but there are still almost 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Oh, a Denver man is being helped off the field. Paul Howard, an offensive guard. He was hurt on that play. But here in only approximately 10 minutes of action, we've seen Denver score on a Charlie Johnson to Otis Armstrong touchdown pass. Then we saw the Steelers, Joe Gilliam to Steve Davis, score a touchdown on a 61-yard play. Then we see the Broncos go out in front again, 14-7 on a Charlie Johnson to Haven Moses pass. And now we see the Denver Broncos bat their lead for 14 points by forcing a fumble. Joe Gilliam throwing to Frank Lewis. A defensive back coming up to hit him hard, forced a fumble. A linebacker picking up the ball and trudging down to the half-yard line. And then John Keyworth going high in the air over the Steeler defense. It was a close call, but they said he was in. And so now the Denver Broncos, with 5 minutes and 44 seconds remaining still in the first period, lead the Steelers 21-7. And the Steelers, well, I didn't look for any kind of game like this, I'll tell you, Jack.
Jim Turner has kicked his 215th consecutive extra point and has now passed the 1,000 points, reached the 1,000-point mark. The sixth player in history to do that. He kicks off deep now. Preston Pearson at the goal line. Comes out over the 5, the 10, the far side of the field, the 15. Hesitates short of the 20, and it's caught and thrown at the 20-yard line. Tackle was made by Jerry Simmons. Ran into Preston at the 18 and stopped him at the 20-yard line. And the Steelers will have it their first down and 10. Did you watch the replay on the...
no, I did not get a chance to, Jack.
Very, very close call. I forgot who received it. Got me so upset. Who received the football?
Preston Pearson.
No, I'm talking about on the pass play.
Oh, that was the pass play.
Okay,
Frank Lewis. You mean the Steeler fumble? Oh, yeah.
Here's Gilliam back. He's looking, and a nail. Joe Gilliam, he gets his pass away. Lewis reaching, can't get it at the Denver 24-yard line. Gilliam went for the ball. Calvin Jones covering, and on the rush, John Grant nails Joe Gilliam to good. There's so much happening in this football game, you don't know whether to watch one end of the field or the other. In that case, we saw Gilliam get laid out very well. He released the football on a long shot under pressure. Downfield, it was just beyond the reach of Lewis. So that's the second time this afternoon he's had Lewis racing down there, and it's thrown just a slight dip long on each one.
I think he was giving Frank a chance to atone for that fumble. You know, I think it was a nice gesture there.
John Stallworth replaces Lewis now as he gets a breather after that long run. Gilliam drops back, fires, in and out of the arms of Larry Brown at the 30-yard line. Brown covered by Tom Jackson, the linebacker. Gilliam nailed again, and the flag goes down. Gilliam bounces up. Tommy Bell is giving them a message. Personal foul. Denver Broncos drops up Joe Gilliam. So they mark mark off 15 yards out to the 35-yard line. And the Steelers have a first down, their fourth of the afternoon. Second penalty against the Broncos. Total of 20 yards on the day.
Well, they're saying, Joe Gilliam, you're just a skinny guy. We're going to rough you up a little bit and see if you can take it. But Joe is on his feet, and they got the 15-yard penalty.
Williams steps under center. He takes him back pedal. Swing pass, left side, off the fingertip of Steve Davis. And coming up to run into Davis was Simone.
Will the Steelers please start holding Joe Gilliam's passes? This is brutal. They've dropped, I would say, 4 passes this afternoon that were easily catchable.
I think it might have been well that he didn't hold that one long enough, because he would have had it just with one hand, like the Statue of Liberty out there, and up came Simone to hit him, and we might have given it up again, coughed it up.
Well, we've seen him bounce up.
They're using Jackson in the middle in place of May. Simone is playing the right linebacker position. He's a third-year man from Stanford. No, May is in there. They got 4 linebackers. That's the way they're going now. Here's the swing pass to the right side of screen to Franco. Comes over the 35 to the 40. Hard-hitting ball game as Harris is knocked out. John Grant made the stop. Now we've got a Bronco injured on the play as Franco is stopped at the 40-yard line.
Well, the injured man is up.
John Grant, who made the tackle, is the man who was third. Pete Duranko replaces him. They go with a 3-man front at the moment and 4 linebackers. Mike Simone, not the French pronunciation, but the Italian pronunciation.
Yeah, I forget how you pronounce that. You know,
Simone. Mark Frazier is my authority over here. Simone. As in Simone.
You're going into the poetry business, too?
From time to time.
There is no room for both of them.
I wish I was in the poetry business this afternoon. This one has me right up on my ear. 4 minutes and 45 seconds. The clock is turning. First quarter, 3rd and 5. We trail 21-7. Gilliam is back to throw. They're after him. He stands his ground. Fires. Comes through. In and out of the arms of the receiver. The ball is loose on the ground again. And they roll it incomplete as we recover. Holy mackerel. And they are hitting hard. That was Johnny Stallworth up at the 46-yard line. And that one they rule incomplete. Johnny Rouser hit him, and hit him solidly.
Marv Frazier, wide receiver Marv Frazier of the Broncos, is Zach's spotter today. He's on the injured reserve list. I'm going to send Marv in for the Steelers if those guys don't start catching passes. This is terrible. Forward should have had that.
Maybe we can execute a deal for Marv here this afternoon. The way they're hitting, he might not want to get down there and try it. Here's Walden kicking. Under pressure. Nice, high, long one. A beauty. Back to the 10. And it is down as it took a nice bounce. Not toward the goal line, but back to the 13-yard line and was recovered down there by... Who got it?
Bunny Shell, Jack. Bunny Shell. Bunny Shell. 47-yard
punt.
Boy, is Walton kicking this year. I was worried about our punting before the season opened, and this guy is just booming that ball. He is doing a great job. And they say that you don't want a real long kick under the new rules. I'm beginning to doubt it. I think you're still better off with the long kick.
They mark the ball at the 14-yard line. First down 10. Sending Van Heusen wide to the left and putting Haven Moses in the slot over to the left side. 21-7 in favor of Denver. Charlie Johnson's handoff. Carried up over the 15 to the 16-yard line. Otis Armstrong, the ball carrier. Andy Russell and Jack Lambert come off the bottom of the play for the Steelers. Ball is between the 15 and 16. So a gain of about a yard and a half. Keyworth is in. Jerry Simmons is in. Armstrong comes off. And Van Heusen comes off. So now we switch over and have Haven Moses and Simmons as the wide receivers. There's been a lot of substituting in that area this afternoon. Now they shift into the I formation. Keyworth the inside back. And off to the top of the I. Floyd Little up the middle, gets a couple of yards. Runs right into that Steeler defense. Now they have not found a great deal of success in running in that area this afternoon. They've been shut off there. Ernie Holmes at the bottom of the play with Andy Russell. and they pick up about a yard. Ball is at the 17-yard line, 3rd and 7.
Yes, the Steelers defense has been tough against the run this afternoon. It's those passes that have killed them. The Broncos have succeeded with the style that you don't normally associate with them.
They're down 7 yards to go. This time, they bring Van Heusen wide to the right. They bring Little out in the slot wide. And they send a wide man to the left. And Johnson is back and looking. Flag down. And they nail Johnson back at the 13-yard line. Here is Joe Green trying to pick up one of the Broncos by the back of the neck. That hold of Tommy Lyons. White is down on the ground. He's getting up. He made the tackle. Now let's see what they have detected. Holding against the Denver Broncos.
And there is apparently going to be a call against Joe Green, too, for perhaps unsportsmanlike conduct, and Joe is going off the field. I don't know. I hope they haven't thrown Joe out.
No. They're getting ready for the punt. Steelers will decline here because the loss is back to the 12. All Green did was help the guy up. He just helped him up in an unorthodox manner.
Oh, and the official and Joe seem to be having strong... Well, I'm just glad it's not what I feared. Holy cow, that would have been a bad loss.
So they declined the penalty, obviously, because of the loss on the play. It's 4th down and about 13 yards to go. Glenn Edwards and Dick Kahn are the deep receivers. Van Heusen standing in his own end zone, about 3 yards deep. Kick will carry from left to right across your radio dial. Snap to Van Heusen, and he gets it away. Good long and low trajectory. Kahn at his own 43. Runs to his left over the 45. Along the 50 now. Coming to the outside. Near side of the field. Flag down over the 45, the 40, the Denver 35, and out of bounds at the Denver 32. There's the Denver Bronco. Picked up the flag and moved it 2 yards.
Bobby Maple in deep stride. And he's getting away with...
Yeah, he is. Maybe not. The official said they should... Tommy Dunn, they're getting away with it. They're marking it back to the 35-yard line. Let's move the flag 2 yards.
Randy Grossman had given Dick Carney good block on that return. Well, that Bobby Maples, he's been around. He knows how to get away with something. 2 yards can mean a difference. He just picked up that flag and tossed it.
If he gets caught, that has to be unsportsmanlike conduct. Here's Gilliam firing to Franco at the 42. He's over the 45 and out to the 47-yard line. He has the first down. Charlie Greer makes the stop for the Denver Broncos. Franco coming straight out of the backfield, takes the pass. He's up to the 47 where it's going to be 1st and 10.
You know, had the Steeler receivers not dropped about 5 of Joe's passes today, he would very nearly be perfect for the afternoon. Perfect.
John Stallworth split left. Frank Lewis to the right. Gilliam is back, chased out of the pocket, fires complete to Larry Brown at the 50. He's over the Denver 45, goes down at the Denver 43, and the flags go down again. Stallworth is being patted on the head by Tom Jackson. We have a Bronco hurt. We're getting a call against Stallworth, and Ray May is the injured player. And May is coming off the field, and Randy Gradisher, a rookie from Ohio State, is in. I think May will be okay. 1st down and 15. The Steelers at their own 42. A minute 59 to play in the first quarter. 21-7 in favor of Denver. Frank Lewis to the right. John Stallworth split left. Here's Gilliam backpedaling. Gilliam runs forward. Gilliam is hit with the high and nailed at the 42-yard line by Lyle Alzado. He got back to the line of scrimmage. So Gilliam was in trouble. He saw it and tried to run out of there straight up the field. Got it back to the line of scrimmage. Alzado caught him. 2nd down, 15. Barney Chavis comes off the field. Ed Smith replaces him. Smith now at defensive left end, a 2nd-year man from Colorado College. 3 linemen and 4 linebackers is the defense they're using. They pull a linebacker up along each flank. And Gilliam goes back. Three-man rush. They're after him. Gilliam gets rid of the football. And Lewis goes after it. He's held to the arm. And can't hold on to the football. Frank Lewis went after it. Bill Thompson covering. And also coming across there, the man who appeared to have him to the arm was Tom Jackson, but the ball was there. So that was a good move.
I think that Bill Thompson could have been called there for interference because Frank had his hands on that ball, and Thompson horse-collared him, grabbed him by the shirt up at the neck there, and Dolly, I think they could have called that guy for that.
Well, if he's got his hands on the ball, they can do most anything to him they want.
Well,
as long as that ball's not in flight.
That's a point.
So
you made a salient point.
Salient point. That's the first salient point I've made this afternoon. Man, this one's got me rocked. I haven't seen anything like it. Gilliam is back again. They're after him. He runs forward. Now he's got a little running room. He's still looking. They're after him. He's running the sideline, throwing back toward the middle. And it is knocked down. Finally spotted a receiver, Steve Davis, downfield at the Denver 35-yard line. And the play was covered by Johnny Rouser. We're going to pause now for station identification. Good point Marv Frazier brings up. Was Shanklin hurt?
I haven't noticed him being injured, but where is he? That's right.
Shanklin is missing. Walden in punt formation. They got Charlie Greer and Bill Thompson downfield. High, wobbly kick. Greer comes under it at his own 20. Hesitates. Comes up over the 25 and on out to the 28 or 29-yard line. And the Steelers have him corralled over there. And the tackle was made on the far side of the field by Reggie Garrett at the 29-yard line.
1 minute remaining in the first quarter, and the Broncos leading the Steelers 21-7. And you know, before this quarter ends, this game will be an hour old. Can you believe it?
You're absolutely right. It is now 5 minutes after 3. Well, my clock's been fast all day, too.
3:01 it says up there in the
3:01. We got about 4 minutes to go yet. And a minute to play in the quarter. Handoff carried by Floyd Little. No, make that. Notice Armstrong breaks over the right side and comes to the 40 to 41-yard line. Armstrong, with nice running, shook off a couple of tacklers. Mike Wagner made the stop. He crossed the right side and cut back toward the middle. Comes to the 41, and it's a first down. That will be number 6 for the Denver Broncos. Now the clock is turning. It's down to 32 seconds. As Myron said, this one period of football will have run just short of an hour. In the slot on the right side, Haven Moses. Inside of Jerry Simmons is wide. Charlie Johnson, the veteran quarterback, flips one out to the right side.
The Broncos have the ball, 2nd and 3 yards to go at their own 48-yard line. The Steelers trailing 21-7 cannot afford to give up another score at this point. You know, when you're trailing by 14 in a wild and woolly game like this, it's not at all beyond the realm of possibility that you can fight your way back. But if you give them a 21-point lead, wow, that's another matter entirely. Some final scores today. Miami defeating Buffalo 24-16. San Diego shocking Cincinnati 20-17. Cleveland defeating Houston 20-7. Another final, the Patriots over the Giants 28-20. The Chicago Bears came back, but not far enough. The Jets held them off to gain a 23-21 victory over the Bears. And holy cow, Dutch fan Brocklin's in trouble. The 49ers beat his Atlanta Falcons today 16-10. There was talk of a Dutchman exit if he lost that ball game. And back to Jack Fleming.
Denver now moving right to left. 2nd down, 3 yards to go. The Broncos at their own 48-yard line. They set a flanker to the right, split the end to the left there in the I formation. And here is White coming across the line of scrimmage. Let's see what the ruling will be. The officials confer. Ball is set back where it was. Offside against the Steelers encroachment. White came across and made contact. So a 5-yard penalty gives them a first down. That will be their 7th. 4 penalties against the Steelers for a total of 37 yards. And the ball moves to the 47-yard line of Pittsburgh. Haven Moses is in there as a wide receiver, and Jerry Simmons is in. Lloyd Little and John Keyworth are the running backs. They're in a wide set. Charlie Johnson, veteran quarterback. Draw handoff to Keyworth, and he is nailed at the 50-yard line. They're right there. Ernie Holmes at him and puts Keyworth down on the natural turf here at Mile High Stadium. 21-7 in favor of the Denver Broncos. We're just into the second quarter, and as Myron told you, the first period ran a good, strong 55 minutes. 3 touchdowns for Denver in that period, 1 for Pittsburgh. Keyworth is out of the ball game, and Otis Armstrong is back. Steelers front 4, Greenwood, Green, Holmes, and White is intact. The linebackers are Ham, Lambert, and Russell. Now, Lambert is trying to move the official out of his way. That man's been in, and here comes Ernie Holmes over. Now Charlie Johnson is apparently successfully maneuvering. And it's encroachment again against the Steelers. They came across and made contact. That cost us 5 yards. And that moves the football to the 45-yard line. Where it is going to be 2nd down and 8.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Charlie Johnson is causing it with his count. I don't know what's going on down there, but the Steelers are having trouble timing their rush.
The ball is at the Pittsburgh 45. Denver is in possession. 2nd down and 8. All right, let's see how they spread this time. Little is in the wide slot to the right side. 1 step back. St. Houston is out in that direction, and Haven Moses to the near side, and back goes Johnson. Fires downfield, and it comes in behind the intended receiver, Floyd Little. Glenn Edwards made a try for it at the 25, could not reach it, and like a dying swan, it drifted to the earth, incomplete.
And it's the first time we've seen Charlie really look bad on a pass. The old man up until now has been superb.
The old man's getting pretty good protection.
Yeah.
Well, the first quarter of today's game was brought to you by your Chrysler Plymouth dealers, and the second period of Steelers 74 is presented by Basco Catalog Showroom.
And the old
Jack Lambert is out, and Dick Kahn is in, as we go with 5 deep defenders. All right, Denver puts Haven Moses in the slot on the right side. Setbacks are wide. Charlie Johnson on 3rd and 8. Fires out to the right side, out of the reach of Otis Armstrong. Came out of the backfield and made his cut to the sideline. Jack Cam covering the play. The pass is incomplete. Brings up 4th down, and Denver will punt.
And it was very important that the Steelers hold the Broncos on that series because, as I mentioned a little while ago, had they scored again and taken a 21-point lead, well, Lee, it might be that school was out.
Steelers go deep with Glenn Edwards and Dick Kahn. Kahn, the rookie from Georgia. Van Heusen, out of the University of Maryland, is in punt formation at his own 41-yard line. That's where he's standing. Line of scrimmage, the Steeler 45. Here's the snap of the football. Van Heusen kicks. Beautiful, like a bullet, barreling into the coffin corner. Let's see where they mark this one. And they're marking it at the 6-yard line. So Van Heusen is doing a beautiful job of hitting the corner. And this sets the Steelers back to their own 6. 1st and 10.
Well, rather final. Oh, I'm sorry. Go right ahead, Jack.
Well, we do have a timeout with a break in the action. We'll be right back.
Well, the Steelers once again back in the hole, backed up to their 6-yard line following another beautiful Denver punt. Jack?
Well, Reggie Garrett is in as a wide receiver. Ron Shanklin appears as though he has been hurt. John Stallworth is a wide receiver. Jim Clack at left guard. And here's a handoff to Harris, and he had nowhere to go off the left side. They have lost a yard down there as he was covered on the play by Ray May, aided by Mike Simone. So we have Stallworth as the wide receiver, Colb at left tackle, Jim Clack at left guard, Ray Mansfield at center, Mike Webster, the rookie, at right guard, Jerry Mullins at right tackle, Randy Grossman, the tight end, Davis and Harris are the running backs, Gilliam the quarterback, and Reggie Garrett, a rookie from Eastern Michigan, the wide receiver. Stallworth will flank left, and Garrett is split to the right. Gilliam takes, and the give. Carried solidly through the middle by Franco. He's up to around the 8-yard line. They closed in on him very quickly, and again Ray May was in on the play. May was shaken up early in the ball game, but fortunately not seriously. 2-yard gain on the play. And Franco, as he came through that hole, looked as though he would have more running room, but May came over to put the grab on him. 3rd down and 8. Stallworth to the left, Garrett to the right. Gilliam will fire, and it is knocked down. He was looking for Randy Grossman, his tight end, and the ball was knocked down by John Grant. Incomplete pass, and the Steelers will punt.
Yes, Gilliam had Grossman open over the middle, but that big defensive tackle just stuck his hands up and batted it down. So Joe Gilliam now is 6 for 14, and as I pointed out before, they've dropped a great many of his passes.
Walden standing in his end zone. Charlie Greer and Bill Thompson deep for Denver. Station just inside Denver territory. Snap to Walden, and Bobby gets it away. It's a good one. Thompson at his own 44. Coming to the left up over the 50. Flag on the play. For Pittsburgh 45, 40, 35. Hit from behind and brought down at the 30-yard line. Johnny Shell zeroed in on him. Fine, solid tackle. Penalty marker down back at the Denver 43-yard line. And a clip against the Broncos detected. 47-yard punt. And a return of 26 yards. But it's going to be nullified, the return. Flip against the Denver Broncos. So they're ready to mark this one off. And it's going to take the football back to the 34-yard line. 15 yards from the spot of the foul, which apparently was the 49. Flag had dropped at the 43. Takes it back to the 34-yard line. Denver now with 3 penalties and a total of 35 yards. Broncos at their own 34, 1st and 10. Van Heusen to the left and Haven Moses to the right. They're in the I formation. Little at the top of the I. Armstrong is the inside back. Pittsburgh with a 5-man front. And off to Little. And Little cutting back into the center. Makes it just over the 35 to the 36, and Joe Green was there to stop him. So Floyd Little is brought down at his own 36-yard line. Gain of a yard probably on the play. 2nd down and 9.
Joe Green, a nice play. He's fast this year, strong and fast. He doesn't think he had a very good year last year. In fact, he says he had a bad year last year, but I think Doug's got it together now.
Steelers trailing 21-7. 11:53 to play in the 2nd quarter. Denver built its lead in the 1st period. The throw man into the slot on the right side. Haven Moses. Jerry Simmons is wide in that direction. Here's Johnson faking and going deep to throw. And there's his pass in and out of the arms of the tight end, Riley Odoms, at the 50-yard line. Odoms coming across toward the far side of the field. Mel Blunt covering on the play. Odoms cannot hold the football. One report had said that Odoms was not really happy. They weren't throwing to him that much. That time, he appeared to have it on the mark, and it may have let him just a little too far, maybe coming a little too low to handle, but Odoms could not hold on to it, and it went down incomplete.
I do believe, Jack, that Mel Blunt got a finger on that football at the last instance. There was a play-action pass, the fake to Otis Armstrong coming up the middle, and then the throw, and Blunt making a good save.
Okay, now we set up with Bill Van Heusen to the right, and Haven Moses in the slot on the right side. Johnson drops straight back this time. gets his pass away complete to the tight end. Riley Odom at the 44. He stretches, gets over the 45, and he'll have the first down. He's tackled by Mel Blunt. Gave it a good second effort and picked up the first down at the 45-yard line. First down 10 for the Denver Broncos. That was Johnson's 11th pass. He has completed 5 on the afternoon, 2 for touchdowns. Denver has picked up its 8th first down. And Jerry Simmons is coming back on the field. Next Sunday afternoon, the Oakland Raiders are in Pittsburgh. That game starts at 4 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 3:40 with full coverage from start to finish. Denver to run out of the I formation. Little at the top of the I. To give to Little. Little cuts back up the middle, and he's to the 49-yard line, leaving a string of Steelers on the ground behind him. Finally came down. He had Lambert and Green right there, and Dwight White was in on the play, and they will spot the football just short of the 49-yard line, making it second down and a long 6 yards to go.
Otis Armstrong shaken up on the play, so they get him out of the ball game, and they send John Keyworth, a 6'3", 230-pound rookie, into Otis Armstrong's job.
Armstrong getting some attention from the Denver trainer. Denver's out of the huddle. Flanker right, split end to the left. Now they shift into the I formation. Now out of the I formation. Looks like Tom Landry's offense. Here's a handoff to Little. Running to the left and tripped up, slowed down, and brought down. Andy Russell had him to the ankle to slow him down, coming laterally along the 48. Ernie Holmes tied into him at the 49, and he made it back to the 50-yard line, coming to the left, maybe just across it. Let's see where they mark it. At the Pittsburgh 49.5-yard line with Holmes and Wagner making the tackle. So they moved it over the 50 again. Now it is third down and 5 yards to go.
And Andy Russell clapped his hands together as if to say, oh, darn. But Floyd Little just ran right out of his tackle, and Floyd has done that to a lot of guys, Andy, so don't feel so bad.
Third down and 5. Jerry Simmons wide right. Haven Moses set in the slot to the right side. Running back are Little and Keyworth. Johnson drops back. The flag is down. Johnson fires. Broken up at Pittsburgh 40, intended for Riley Odom. Coming over top of him is Mel Blunt. Break it up. Penalty marker was down. Illegal motion against the Denver Broncos. So the Steelers have the option on the play with the ball at their 49-yard line now, where they finally placed it down. And Tommy Bell talks with Andy Russell. Will undoubtedly decline the 5 yards. That will bring up the punting situation on fourth down. And will bring on Bill Van Heusen. So the Steelers set up to receive. And they're a little bit wary of this Denver club since that sure kickoff on the opening kickoff of the ball game. Edwards is trying to get someone's attention on the Pittsburgh bench side. And they're going to stay up close and let Van Heusen kick away. Now twice he has put the ball out deep in the coffin corner. Once at the half-yard line, the second time at the 6. There's the snap. He takes it on the bounce and kicks to the near side of the field. And it comes out in the vicinity of the 10-yard line. Let's see where they will mark this one. The official is marking it at the 12-yard line. So give Van Heusen, from pretty good distance, a punt out at the half-yard line, one at the 6, and now at the Pittsburgh 12. That's where the Steelers will put it in play. They're spotting it, I think, finally at the... Are they at the 12 or the 13?
Hard to tell from my angle, Jack.
12.5-yard line.
Yeah, let's call it that.
First down, 10 yards to go. And we need to get something started. Williams shifts Steve Davis off the I. Gives the ball to Franco. It's just off the left side and carries people with him over the 15 to the 20 to the 21-yard line. Picks up a good solid 8 yards, about 8.5 yards. Lyle Alzado executed the tackle for Denver. Lou Kreck tells us that there's a contingent of United Airlines employees. These are ramp people and service people from Pittsburgh. How many of them? 26 of them over there, forming a small, very solid cheering section for the Steelers. All right. Gilliam is ready. Gilliam, hands off. And here is Franco breaking a tackle, cutting just outside, coming over the 25, trips up and goes down at the 30. He'll have the first down. And they're going to spot that ball at the 29-yard line. I thought it was rather odd, Lou, that a group of United people would fly Allegheny all the way to Denver.
That's dirty. That's dirty.
That's dirty fool.
Yeah, who's with United, of course.
I am kidding. Lou is the pride of United Airlines. Looks after the Steeler club from the beginning of the season to the end. Not to mention this broadcast crew. That's Franco with the ball, and he runs into trouble. Lynn Swan wants to square off with one of the Broncos. Marty Davis made the stop. Swan was missed with someone.
He got into it with Bill Thompson of the Broncos, and the referee, the officials had to restrain him. He wanted to get a piece of Bill Thompson. The Steelers trailing in this game 21-7. We still have 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter, believe it or not. If you tuned in late, we had a 58-minute first quarter with all kinds of fireworks. The Steelers now trying to get something going. They trail by 14.
Second down, 8 yards to go. Pittsburgh at its own 31-yard line, moving left to right. William fires to the far side, and it is broken up. Coming up was Calvin Jones. And hit Johnny Stallworth from behind inside the 40-yard line, and the ball fell away as he belted him very well from the blind side. That's a tough lick to take.
Yeah, that lick was dealt out just as the ball reached Stallworth, so perhaps on that one you can't blame him for dropping the ball.
Third down, 8. Ray Mansfield goes over the football. We trail 21-7. William will throw again. William is ready. Now they're after him. He runs out of the pocket, heading to the far side of the field. Needs some help, gets the block, and dives forward to the 41-yard line. Over there to give him some help was Randy Grossman.
To the 41-yard line.
Simone and John Grant in pursuit. And he picked up the first down at the 41, so that was a resourceful play.
Gutsy running by the toothpick. His first thought was to get out of bounds. You could read his mind, and then he knew that he needed those 8 yards for that first down, and so he changed course and slithered through there and got the first down. Tough toothpick.
He's your man.
Tough toothpick.
You look good today in your Jefferson Street Joe Gilliam T-shirt. I'll tell you that. Denver people will like it. It's a nice item. Quick pitch to the right side. Daring play. Franco with the ball. Trying to turn the corner. Ridden out of bounds to the 42. We have a flag down. Knocked out on the near side. Jackson. Lasky. Rouser. Johnny Rouser. Now let's see what this one is going to be. The officials have been hyperactive today. Personal foul. This time against Pittsburgh. Now the officials are conferring.
Frank Lewis coming on to replace Lynn Swan. You know, today we have not seen Chuck Noll use a lot of running backs as he's been accustomed to doing. You know, sending in Pearson, the Frenchman, clearing that bench almost of running backs. He's largely stuck with Steve Davis and Franco Harris all the way. 15-yard penalty against the Steelers moves them back to their 26-yard line. They've got, oh, golly, better than 20 yards to go, well over 20 yards to go, and a first down.
First down at 25. The Steelers back at their own 26. William sets his running backs wide. William backpedals. Flips it out to the left side to Davis. He needs a screen. Picks up a little help, not enough. He's down at the 30-yard line on the play by Simone. Davis appeared to be ahead of what should have been a potential screen. And he tried to pick them up, and Simone very alertly came over and nailed him at the 30-yard line. They picked up 4 yards on the play. That will be Gilliam's 16th pass with 7 of them completed. Myron has mentioned from time to time He's had the ball on the money several times this afternoon, and the ball has either been dropped or very tough defensive play by the Denver Broncos has forced the ball to be coughed away. On one occasion, they moved it down to the half-yard line and scored from there. Gilliam is deep. Gilliam throwing to the near side on a little comebacker. Lewis pulls it in at the 49 and immediately he goes out of bounds. Johnny Rouser on him. Now we have a penalty marker down way back. And let's see what the ruling is here. Personal foul. They roughed the passer. Now he completed the pass up to the 49-yard line. Denver roughed up Joe Gilliam. And now we're getting some conversation from the Denver coaching staff and Tommy Bell. We'll listen to very little of it as he picks up the football now. Gets back to business, marks it off 15 down to the Denver 36-yard line. The Denver 36, first down 10.
Well, Don Ralston is an accredited instructor for Dale Carnegie's courses, but he didn't succeed with the officials that time. The Steelers get a nice break. And Marv Frazier, I wish you'd tell your teammates that they can't knock off Joe Gilliam. They're not going to put him out of this ball game.
Jefferson Street Joe hangs in. Steps under center again. First and 10 at the Denver 36. 5:15 to play in the second quarter. Gilliam gives it to Steve Davis. He changes direction 3 times. He's down to the 30. And I could swear somebody had him to the face mask. But the principal stopper on him is right down at the bottom. Tom Jackson and Bill Thompson made it to the 30-yard line. He came in there, went left, came right, left, and right, appearing to change direction about 3 times. So a slick bit of running by Steve Davis. Makes it second down, about 3.5 yards to go. And right now might be time for Gilliam to lay one into the end zone. Stallworth goes left. Lewis comes right. Tight end Randy Grossman, rookie from Temple. Joe Gilliam is the quarterback. Gilliam will give to Franco. Franco trying to get outside to the left hand. He is tackled. Comes down at the 27.5-yard line. Calvin Jones made the stop. Jones, a 5'7", 169-pounder from the University of Washington in his second year. And we're about a yard short of a first down. The ball being marked back almost to the 28-yard line. Let's call it third and a yard and a half to go. And they bring Simone out of the ball game and come back on with Pete Duranko, so they'll go with the regular 4-man front.
Jim Clack pulling out of the line on that play and laying in a pretty good block that enabled the Steelers to gain valuable yardage. Now it's just third and a short 2 yards.
Steelers bring on Larry Brown, the second tight end. Brown is on the right side and Grossman is on the left side. Flanking to the left is Stallworth. Running backs are Davis and Harris. Gilliam gives the ball to Franco. Drives off the right side and he is short. He's going to miss the first down by less than a yard as he's tackled by Barney Chavis. The defensive left end. He ran right into the arms of Chavis. And they're going to take it on and measure, but I don't believe that it's going to be necessary at this point. He appeared to have missed it. So they bring the sticks out, and sure enough, he is about a foot short. Okay, that is fourth and a foot to go. In a situation like this, you've got to go for it, haven't you?
Sure, you got to go for it. There's no question about it. The field goal's longer this year, and the play is, when you're down 14.2, the play is to go for it.
3 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in the second quarter. We trail 21-7. It is third down and about a foot to go. Joe Gilliam has them in the huddle. Brings them out. 2 tight ends and a tight formation. The Stallworth set out to the right. Coming out to cover him, Calvin Jones, the cornerback. Everything else bunched up the middle. Here's Gilliam calling the signal. Gilliam to Franco, driving off the left side with good second effort. He has it. Got his nose down to the 25-yard line for the first down, and he did it under his own power as he ran into a host of Broncos. Rouser was over there. Thompson was over there. They ganged up on him. Now let's see where the official's going to mark it down. They have set that ball back to the 26-yard line, and that is a ripoff.
That is terrible.
He had that football down to the 25. I think it may be an academic point. Boy, it is close. They got it.
Woo! That was terrible, Jack.
We'll be back after this pause on the Steelers Football Network. They mark it at the 26. It's first down, 10 yards to go. 2 minutes and 49 seconds to play in the second quarter. We trail 21-7. The Broncos are digging in, and the crowd is chanting defense. Here come the Steelers out of the huddle. Frank Lewis is back in, flanked to the right. John Stallworth splits left. Gilliam looking out to the right, throwing to Lewis, and he is belted. He was at the 22-yard line and knocked back to the 24 by Johnny Rouser. And they are zeroing in with some good tough tackling. Now the official puts it down at the 24. He took the ball at the 22, was hit solidly by Rouser and knocked back to the 24. I'm not exactly sure what's happening.
Nor am I. These guys, they're working a strange game.
That's not Tommy Bell down there officiating. That's Jesse James and his henchmen. They're stealing yards from us, one at a time, two at a time. Well, we're down to the 2-minute warning mark, and while we sit here in Gripe in Denver, on what has not been a very happy first half afternoon, things will get better. There's a break in the action. With a little bit of luck, we'll be right back. The officials have just conducted what appeared to be a prayer meeting. All 5 of them were gathered in a small circle.
You know, the Steelers on this drive have been playing with their 3-center offensive line, meaning Ray Mansfield at center, Jim Clack ex-center at left guard, and Mike Webster ex-center at right guard. They're finding they're going tough, but they still have this drive going at the 24-yard line of Denver.
Second down and 8. Should be second down and 6. Gilliam, look, throws complete to Randy Grossman at the 18. Grossman trying to break away, and he goes down. He was tackled by Tom Jackson, the linebacker. And at the 18-yard line, Grossman trying to get away from him. That's going to leave us on third down. About 2 yards to go. Just a little over 2 yards, a long field. Gilliam, 19 passes, 10 of them completed. Third down and 2. Clock turning, minute 28. Jefferson Street Joe looking for a receiver. Swing pass, left side to Steve Davis. Davis trying to break a tackle, dives over the 15. He has the first down. Mike Simone had him around the ankles. Davis was looking back toward the 6 as he went diving forward, and he's moved the ball inside the 15. That is the 10th first down for the Steelers. Pittsburgh calls timeout with a minute 12 to play in this quarter. Myron Cole has the scoreboard after we return following this brief timeout. Myron, I want to talk to you after a bit about that remark you threw at Chuck Knoll at the news luncheon last Monday. I thought that was a very good one. You two have some of the greatest dialogue of any coach or reporter I've ever seen. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, the Steelers are back up there. First and 10. Gilliam is deep. They're after him. He's in the pocket, fires into the end zone, and came in behind Grossman, who made his move off to the right. Down on the ground and out of the play, Charlie Greer could not help the Denver cause. Incomplete. Brings up second down 10. Myron was firing questions at Chuck Knoll and getting Chuck Knoll-type answers, right?
Well, what was the question? I said to him, how can guys move right into a new position in offensive guard, those centers moving in there, and get away with it when it's supposed to be the kind of position that you need a lot of experience at? And he said, another miracle, Myron. And I said, well, get off the water and answer the question, will you?
That's the best line of the week. Now we're putting Frank Lewis in the slot left. And Gilliam looking for a receiver. Fires it out on the swing to Franco. Breaks the tackle at the 10. He's going to take a man into the end zone with him. Not quite. All the way to the goal line. All the way to the goal line. Bill Thompson riding Franco right down to the goal line. And that was a good call. He did not make it in.
Tackle made by Thompson.
He hit just inches short of the goal line, and
Things are looking up here at any rate. The Steelers with the first down just inches away from the end zone.
we got to get it in there.
Let's get it in.
Make a ball game out of this.
Marv Frazier must think we're partial.
We got to be partial. Marv is doing a great job. He's sitting here keeping himself restrained, and he wants the Broncos to win. I don't blame him a bit. Here's Gilliam diving, and he's in there. Stopped upright, but he's across the plane of the goal line. Not as tall, not as big and strong as Terry Bradshaw, but the little guy, what do you call him, the toothpick?
The tough toothpick.
Oh, he put it across the plane of the goal line for the touchdown. So Gilliam comes up with the TD, and for Jefferson Street Joe. I believe that is his first of the season. In fact, I know it is. 88-yard drive for the Steelers. Well-executed drive. Bobby Walden, the holder at the 10. Roy Girella getting lined up to kick for the point. It's a big one. The rush is on. Girella kicks. It is good. It is 21-14 in favor of the Denver Broncos. With a break in the action, we'll be right back.
Lyle Alzado, the very popular defensive end, a tough one for the Denver Broncos, is hurt. He's in considerable pain with his left leg. We have 52 seconds remaining in this first half. Our producer, Tom Leslie, says it seems like we've been here a week, and it does at that. But anyhow, the Steelers have closed the gap somewhat. It's now the Broncos 21, the Steelers 7, and Roy Girella set the kick off.
Leslie's not really here this afternoon. We're just saying that. He's up at Aspen skiing. And here's Girella kicking it long and high. Down into the end zone. Thompson fields the football and will take it for the automatic touchdown. The oddest thing, seeing Leslie go out to the charter last night carrying his skis and full ski gear with him, getting going, coming to Colorado.
Boy, I'll tell you, Roy Girella put some foot into that ball. It traveled over 70 yards.
You're changing the subject. He gets to Aspen.
I'm trying to help him.
First down, 10. Denver. 52 seconds remaining in this period. Boy, I'd like to get the ball back right here. Crack him once. Take it right back. Charlie Johnson, the quarterback. He's not likely to do anything that's going to upset the apple cart. He gives it to Armstrong, and Armstrong is nailed by Green and then re-nailed by Andy Russell. Slowed down by Joe, and Andy got on him, short of the line of scrimmage. And Denver loses 2, and they're willing to do that for the remaining time and go off this field with a 1-touchdown lead. Here comes Jerry Simmons in, but don't bank on it. The way this ball game started and the way Denver has played it, the Steelers call time. They want to stop the clock. They want Denver to earn those seconds. And Charlie Johnson's going to come over and have a consultation with Max Foley, I think. There's that John Ralston.
No, that's Max down there. I don't believe he's got his back to me, but I believe it's Max, yeah. He's the offensive coordinator, has done a great job for the Denver Broncos, has received much credit for their success. And, Jack, I'm glad you said don't bank on it. It appears that the Broncos are just running out the clock, but after some of the stunts they've pulled today, and by stunts, I don't mean that in a derogatory sense, very successful deception, I wouldn't be surprised if he did not use that play to set up a bomb.
If they'd happen to get one and go off this field with that kind of momentum and a 2-touchdown lead, then you got yourself a problem. Right now, the Steelers have the momentum going with them. Broncos backed up to their 18-yard line, where it is going to be 2nd down and 12. 31 seconds remaining to play in the second quarter. We're at Mile High Stadium, Denver, Colorado. Fleming and Cope, along with Lou Kreck, Marv Frazier, our spotter from the Broncos, and Tom Leslie, who is supposed to be here. Well, they're lining up very close. Look at this. They got the setback. Now they pull the Steelers offside. Joe Green has just dived under the center.
There's laughing.
They'll get us for encroachment. 5 yards up to the 23-yard line.
5 yards. Oh, Joe was going for the football that time?
Maybe he's detecting that Maples is picking it up.
Could be.
One of your prime theories in playing the game.
Well, I'm always looking for things like that. I haven't spotted Maples doing it, but maybe Joe has.
All right, let's put the glasses on Maples and see what he's doing. You got to watch Maples. He might pick it up, move it 2 yards forward before the play starts. Well, they've got their setbacks up tight, very close. Charlie Johnson gives the ball to Otis Armstrong. He finds an opening, slips into it, comes up to the 27-yard line. And Ernie Holmes made the stop, helped out by Andy Russell. That brings up the third down play, and the clock is down to 16 seconds. It's turning. Steelers have used up their timeout. Now Denver's going to take one. Here comes Charlie Johnson over to discuss the strategy. Now the crowd has a mild ripple going through it, and they boo just a few of them.
Well, I tell you, if they're killing the clock here, they are doing it with the greatest caution and planning I've ever seen. Another conference on the sideline, Charlie Johnson and Max Coley, and maybe Max is instructing him on how to fall on the football, or on the other hand, maybe they got something cooking. Who knows? But the ball is at the Bronco 27-yard line, and it's third down and 3 yards to go.
Well, this quarter has gone 43 minutes. The first period went 58. This may be an NFL record.
You realize what time we're going to get in the morning back to Pittsburgh?
How about 3 o'clock in the morning?
Supposed to be 11, but now, holy cow.
Yeah, 11 o'clock in the morning is a good hour, too.
I mean, at night.
Here's Charlie Johnson. Watch out for him this time. Look out. Here's the Little. We were offside. I think Little slips, making his cut at the 25, goes down at the 26. Now 7 seconds remaining. They had a flag down, and I think we will be penalized. Offside call, and that will give Denver a first down up at the 32-yard line. The ninth first down for the Broncos. The Steelers have been penalized a total of 67 yards in the first half. Ball is now at the Denver 32-yard line. So I would guess that this is...
Today's episode is brought to you by thisdayinthennfl.com. Celebrating football's greatest moments, one day at a time. Listen to classic broadcasts, explore historic games, and keep the legacy of the NFL alive at thisdayinthennfl.com.
Johnson may take his shot with 7 seconds on the clock.
And it seems to me that the total penalties in this half might be in the neighborhood of 300 yards. Well, that's a little hyperbole, but wow, we've seen a lot of penalties marched off.
Okay, now they line up. Charlie Johnson. I remember he worked for 6. Rogerella tees it up at the 35. He'll kick off left to right. And this afternoon's Steelers-Broncos contest is being heard around the world through the facilities of the American Forces Radio Network, comprising more than 350 stations. And the Broncos go deep with Otis Armstrong and Bill Thompson. Jarella kicks it. Sailing downfield, Armstrong fields it at the 5, out over the 10, the 15, he's to the 20, the 25, drives to the 31-yard line. Otis Armstrong on the return, driving to the 31-yard line. Jim Allen had the first hit on him. Denver will put the ball in play first and 10 at its own 31. Steelers trailing 21-14. An explosive first quarter. Denver dominating. Then the Steelers coming back to dominate in the second period and get the touchdown. And now Denver has the ball, and as Lou Brett pointed out, our mission right now is to stop them on this first drive and get that football back. And that is no mean task. Van Heusen to the left, Haven Moses to the right. Setbacks are wide. Johnson the quarterback. Charlie Johnson. Cranking up, and somebody cut him on the arm, and Mike Wagner comes under to intercept. He tripped up, he took it at the 40. Joe Green hit Johnson's arm. Jack Ham was waiting for the football as it went wobbling up into the air near the 40-yard line. Wagner hopped right in front of him and took it. In the meantime, the intended receiver reached out and grabbed him by the ankle, and he went down. That'll be Haven Moses. And so the ball is at the 38, and that is the first interception, and that is the big break that we've been looking for. Joe Green promoted it. That's Charlie Johnson on the arm. 1st and 10 at the Denver 38-yard line. Gilliam gives the ball to Steve Davis. He runs into a crowd up the middle, and he just puts his head down and bucks his way over the 35. He's to the 34-yard line. While Alzado is back in there, was at the bottom of the play. So they marked the ball at the 34-yard line. Gain of about 3.5 yards, Myron.
And that was, of course, Charlie Johnson's first interception in the ballgame. The first pass he threw to be intercepted. And Joe Green just clobbered him high as he released that ball. He gave him a hit.
Mark Frazier points out that Johnson was hurt on that play. He's getting attention down in the Denver bench area. 2nd down, about 6. Gilliam backpedals, swing pass to the left side to Franco. He breaks a possible tackle, goes to the 30, and then dives for 2 more to the 28-yard line. Franco Harris, finally brought down by Charlie Greer. 7-year veteran from Colorado. Short of a first down by maybe a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Outstanding running by Franco, has looked very good today. Bill Lasky, the linebacker, the right linebacker, had that play figured out, sailed into the backfield to hit Franco, and Franco got away from him somehow. He's just doing a nifty job today.
Stallworth and Brown are Stallworth is a wide receiver, and Brown is in as the 2nd tight end. Grossman and Brown are the tight ends, and Stallworth is wide to the left on the 3rd and short situation. Hand off to Franco and driving off the right side, and he may have it. He met stiff opposition as he slanted off tackle over the right side. Ray May put the grab on him first, and they spot the football at the 27-yard line. And it is a first down. That will be number 13 for the Steelers. They come out of the huddle. 4-man rush by Denver. William is deep. He gets it away. And there's his target at the 15. A great leaping catch by Franco Harris. Goes down at the 13-yard line as he went up in front of Tom Jackson. Jackson covered him. Harris gets up slowly. He's okay. Great catch. Absolutely a beautiful catch at the 15. Fell at the 13-yard line, and Gilliam, with a rush on him, just stands in there and rifles that football.
He barely got that ball away. You betcha they had Joe, and he got rid of that ball at the last possible instant. Super catch by Franco. Really got up in the air.
Let me tell you, that little guy is not gun shy. Not the least bit. That's the Steeler club. Gives it to Franco. Cross puck through the middle. Drives over the 5 and down inside to the 2-yard line. I think he has a first down. He was tackled by Charlie Greer. Nice hole opened up in the area of Quack, Mansfield, and Webster. And Franco, coming from right to left, slanted through that hole up the middle, and they have the football down at the 1.5-yard line. First down and goal to go.
Franco gained 35 yards in the first half, and he's off to a fine start in this second half. In fact, Luke Beck tells us he's got a total now of 46 yards and 13 carries.
All right, we got the glasses on him now. Let's see what Joe Gilliam plans to do. Davis and Harris are the running backs. Gives to Steve Davis off the right side, and he plows into the end zone, and he carries Bill Thompson with him for the touchdown. He just took Thompson right with him. So the Steelers start at the 38-yard line after the interception by Mike Wagner. And in 7 plays, they go 38 yards. And incidentally, that is the 3rd interception of the year for the Steelers in 2 games, and Wagner's first. This ball club led football, all of football, in interceptions last year.
Yeah, and if you, well, no, I won't go back to that play because they're going to try the extra point, Jack.
All right, Roy Girella. Walden holding, Girella kicks it. It is good, and we got ourselves a tie ball game. 21-21 contest. There's a break in the action. Girella kicking off. It is long. Holy smoke! He kicks it all the way to the goalpost. Let's see now, 65, 75 yards on the fly.
Actually, maybe 3-4 more yards than that. It was beyond that end zone. 75, I'd call it 78-yard kickoff. But anyhow, they bring it back to the 20-yard line where the Broncos will put it in play.
They send Jerry Simmons to the right. And here is Ramsey throwing and completes it to Riley Odom at the 32.5-yard line. Mel Blount makes the tackle. Riley Odom goes 6'4", 230 pounds. Third-year veteran from Houston. They will spot the ball at the 33, a first down. So the explosive Denver offense comes firing right back.
And I trust the Steelers will remember that a few years ago in Pittsburgh, Johnson was hurt, had to leave the game. Ramsey came in and led the Broncos to victory.
I don't even want to think about it. Van Dusen to the right. Haven Moses is in the slot. Ramsey drops back. Now Ramsey fires a little too high at the 40-yard line for Haven Moses, who just drifted out into the middle. He was wide open, and Ramsey overthrew him. Jack Lambert over to cover on the play, but he was pretty well out of position because the receiver was wide open, and Ramsey just overthrew him.
And Ramsey getting great protection from his offensive line. Had all day to throw.
Denver Broncos are ready to go. Steve Ramsey, 6'2", 210 pounds. Quarterback. Draw handoff and a quick draw at that. Armstrong finds the hole, goes through to the 35 and onto the 39-yard line. Well executed. Ham and Lambert on the tackle. The ball is at the 39-yard line. It's going to be third down and 4 yards to go. So the Broncos face a big play. Ball game is tied 21-21. Haven Moses sets up to the right. They bring Bill Van Heusen to the left. The tight end is Riley Odom. They got a second tight end, Billy Masters, in there. And here's a sack. Ernie Holmes has the quarterback. Steve Ramsey, I think at about the 26-yard line. Where's Tommy Bell going with the football? What's he bringing the ball back to the 35-yard line for?
Well, I guess he figures that's where Fats made contact with him. I don't know.
Holy mackerel. That's only...
that would be less than a 5-yard drop back.
That's about a 3-yard drop back.
I'll tell you, I never saw anything like
that. Has to be the weirdest placement of the ball we've seen. Had to be back around the 26 or 27-yard line where he contacted him. Punt formation. Van Heusen. He puts the foot on. Boy, can he punt it. Glenn Edwards under it at his own 10. Here he comes, the 15, the 20. Let's go all the way up to the 25. He's not going to make it. He's in trouble. Down he goes at the 28-yard line. Edwards looking for daylight. He didn't find it. He ran into red jerseys. And there at the bottom of the play for the Denver Broncos was Ken Kreider and Ray May. And Kreider has a fan club called Kreider's Critters. Kreider's Critters. There's a break in the action. And we'll be right back.
Charlie Johnson's right shoulder obviously was injured. The trainer right below our booth massaging Charlie's throwing arm, his shoulder, and we don't know whether he'll be able to get back into the ball game or not. Here go the Steelers at their own 28-yard line.
First down, 10 yards to go. The Steelers at their own 28. Shifting out of the I formation, Steve Davis to the left side. The quarterback is Joe Gilliam, gives it to Franco. He stumbles coming into the middle, goes over the 30 to the 31-yard line. Barney Chavis, who goes 6'3", 252 pounds, made the stop. Ball is at the 31-yard line, about a 2.5-yard pickup. Let's call it close to 3. Second down, 7. Myron, we look at the Oakland Raiders. Al Davis brings his Chargers to town next Sunday afternoon. Yep. Here's Gilliam dropping back, and he fires complete to Grossman at the 39, and Randy's knocked down immediately. Hit by Johnny Rouser and Tom Jackson at the 39-yard line. It is close to a first down. I don't believe we have it. Gilliam is in the pocket. Now to Davis, the 40, loses the football. They dive for it. Raiders, 11 the Broncos have it. Wow. Davis got to the 40-yard line, was hit, lost the football. Lyle Alzado. And that is our second fumble of the afternoon. We've lost both of them. The Broncos take over at the Pittsburgh 41. It's the kind of a football game it's been all afternoon long for both clubs. They have Jerry Simmons wide to the right and Haven Moses out to the left. Very wide set. And the draw handoff. Carried by Armstrong. He breaks loose. He's got over the 25, the 20, fighting his way inside the 10. Driven down inside the 5 by J.G. Thomas. Wow. Otis Armstrong. A great running back for Purdue. Turns it on. Found the opening and then did some great broken field running. Takes the ball to the 3-yard line. J.T. Thomas brought him down, and Denver is back in scoring position.
Yes, Otis rambled about 5 yards on the draw, ran into Fats Holmes, who had retreated, and Fats appears in position to make the stop, but Armstrong simply bounced off him, kept going. Times daylight, a run of 38 yards to the Steelers' 3-yard line.
This is the only stadium I've seen in the league where the home team has to wave for quiet from the crowd. Ramsey, the quarterback. They're in the I formation. They put a man in motion to the right. Ramsey fakes, flips a little pass to a wide open man in the end zone, and there's Riley Odom to take it. They sent a man in motion. Van Heusen to the right. Odom stripped it out into the end zone. Wide open. And Ramsey flipped it to him for the touchdown.
Oh, my. Odom was going one way toward the sideline in the corner of the end zone, and safety man Glenn Edwards, having taken a fake, was going the other way, pointed straight toward the middle of the end zone. So it was an easy catch for Odom, and the Denver Broncos once again have taken the lead.
Denver leading 27-21. Turner will try for the point after. Charlie Johnson is the holder. Kick by Turner is good. Denver leads 28-21. Steelers football continues after this brief timeout. 28-21 ball game. Denver on top, and Turner will kick off right to left. We have Davis and Pearson deep. Here comes Turner, and he kicks it. Down to the 5-yard line. Preston with the ball. Over the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25. Runs into a tackler and is nailed at the 27-yard line. Ken Kreider was there to get him. So Preston Pearson brings it back 22 yards. The ball is at the 27, and the Steelers take over first and 10. Randy Grossman is the tight end. Franco Harris and Steve Davis are the running backs. Joe Gilliam is the quarterback. Steelers break out of the huddle. Sending Stallworth to the left, Frank Lewis to the right. Ron Shanklin has been injured. Not seen action since back early in the first half. Gilliam drops back, fires downfield. There is Stallworth to pull it in at the 50. Stallworth turns it on from behind, caught at the 35, and dropped down inside the 30-yard line at the 25. Lost the football momentarily, held on to it in the tackle made by Calvin Jones. So the Steelers strike right back. Johnny Stallworth, and he had to reach for that one as it came in a little low at the 50-yard line. Turned it on, and he had Calvin Jones in full pursuit. And he tied into him. The play covered 48 yards.
Yes, indeed. A nice play. Took the ball at midfield and tacked on another 25 yards running.
First down, 10 at the Denver 25. Gilliam backpedals, now firing for the end zone. Stallworth, and the crowd reaches for it. Can he hold it? He's out of bounds. He held it, but he was out of bounds. Two-man coverage. He had Greer and Jones both on him. Another great effort by Stallworth, but he went down out of bounds. We'll be back after this pause on the Steelers Football Network. Here's Mansfield going over the football for the Steelers. He deploys stalwarts to the left, flanking. Split right is Frank Lewis. Gilliam backpedals. Gilliam throws. And Randy Grossman grabs it as he goes down at the 15-yard line. He'll make that the 16. Tom Jackson covering. Grossman was cutting. He slipped, apparently, and made a great catch. That had to be a fantastic catch as he was going down.
Super catch, because he did slip before the ball got there, and yet he was somehow able to make that catch. Randy Grossman has been thrown to by Joe Gilliam 3 times today. He's caught every single one of those passes. He is not one of the guys who had butterfingers in the first half. Stallworth did, but now he seems to be coming around with that fine catch on the 48-yard play a few moments ago.
Stallworth now. We have 2 tight ends, Grossman and Larry Brown. Frank Lewis flanks right. 3rd and 1. Davis and Harris are the running backs. Gilliam, the quarterback, sets the Steelers. Gilliam gives it to Harris, finds the hole, and drives across to the 10-yard line. Defensively, the Broncos came off the ball very quickly, and they left the hole there. Johnny Rouser made the tackle. But it was opened up. And Franco found it, slanted through from the right side. The ball is inside the 11-yard line, so they'll be able to pick up a first down inside the 1 before they reach the goal line. That is the 19th first down of the afternoon for the Steelers, and Harris is running beautifully. Steve Davis did some beautiful running, too. Let's not forget that. Been some fine plays on both sides. In a 28-21 ball game, Denver leading. Here's Gilliam ready to go. Gilliam rolling right there after him. Gilliam stiff arms, one tackler, fires down to the goal line, and Lewis catches it at the 1. In pursuit that time was Pete Duranko, and Gilliam gave him a stiff arm. Now down at the goal line, Bill Thompson was covering, Johnny Rouser was covering, and Frank Lewis on a comebacker made the catch down inside the 1, so they'll have to measure. This is what I told you. They could pick up a first down inside the 1-yard line. We have 4:33 on the clock. That's not time remaining. That's the time here in Denver. Here's Gilliam giving it to Davis off the right side, and he's in. Smashing off right tackle. Steve Davis carries it in for a Pittsburgh touchdown. So the Steelers have come right back to score. And it's a 28-27 ball game, and Girella, with a lot riding on each kick, is out there again. And Bobby Walden, the veteran from Georgia, will hold. Roy Girella. Girella is getting ready, and Denver is set for the rush. 1 point in this ball game is extremely important at either end of the field. The ball is down. Girella boots it. It is wobbly, but it's good. I'll buy it. It's 28-28 here at Mile High Stadium, and Myron Cope has beads of perspiration on his forehead.
I'll tell you, and if you're going to buy that field goal, don't pay a whole lot for it, because it was kind of sickly, that extra point, but it got through, so okay, that's all that counts. Are we seeing some kind of a ball game today? The lead seesawing back and forth now in the second half. You know, the Steelers entered the second half trailing 21-14. They took the lead. They tied up the ball game. Then Denver took the lead. Now the Steelers have come back to tie it again.
Here is Girella again. High, long. Look at this one. All the way back and over the end line. Thompson just watched it go out.
Hey, let me ask Marv Fraser something. Marv, does the thin air here help on these kicks?
Yes, it does.
I thought so. Boy, the way they're kicking that football, the punts too. Marv is a wide receiver, of course, for the Denver Broncos, who's on the injured list. Has a broken thumb, and he's waiting for somebody to trip and break their leg so he can get back on the active roster.
That's not true, is it?
No, it isn't. Philadelphia Marv Fraser, you betcha.
A good man. He's doing a yeoman's job up here this afternoon. In the absence of Tom Leslie, who is skiing at Aspen. Your wife's going to wonder about that, Leslie. Denver ready to go, 1st and 10 at the Bronco 20. Steve Ramsey, the quarterback, and his handoff carried by John Keyworth off the left side. He'll get a yard, maybe 2 yards. Third quarter of today's game was presented in part by Union Carbide Eveready Batteries and by Master Engineers Corporation. Now this fourth quarter of Steelers 74 is brought to you by Pittsburgh National Bank.
You know,
Lou Crack always comes up with the happy thought. He's sitting here talking to himself. He says, wouldn't it be something if we went to sudden death?
this game is, it seems, lasted an eternity already. A 58-minute first quarter, and he has to bring up sudden death. You need his services.
I don't believe...
Send him skiing.
I'll say this while you guys are chatting over there. If it's sudden death, it's not going to be 28-28. It might be 35-35, 42-42, or 49-49. That point. These ball clubs are primed to score this afternoon. Haven Moses to the right and Jerry Simmons to the left, a former Steeler. Steve Ramsey, the quarterback for the Broncos. They move left to right in this period. He'll pass. He throws to the sideline into the Steeler bench area. Great catch over there. Who executed that? Lionel Taylor. Displaying those great hands. He cut it himself in the bench area.
And Andy Russell covering Floyd Little. Some of the Denver crowd thought he wasn't covering him quite kosher, but nonetheless, the ball thrown to Lionel Taylor. It's an incomplete pass. Lionel, this is where Lionel starred for many years in Denver, so he gave him a
played right here. One of the great receivers of the American Football League, Myron.
You betcha.
One of the premier receivers.
That's what they called him, a premier receiver.
I don't do it quite as well as that guy you had in Dallas did that imitation. Here's Ramsey. It's hit. And he gets rid of the football. It's intercepted. Holy smoke. Who did it? It was Mark Kellum in the ball game. Andy Russell. You got the wrong guy. Kellum intercepted. Russell hit him. I bet you had 34 and 54 mixed up. Russell went through there like a bullet on the blitz. Hit the quarterback midsection as he released the football. Here it is. And into the arms of Kellum, who was diving at the 16-yard line. Now that is a big play.
So great defensive plays on the rush have now resulted in 2 Steeler interceptions. Joe Green creating one rushing Torrey Johnson, and now Russell creating one with a hit on Ramsey.
That ball club moves right to left at the Denver 16. Wide set. Hand off. New running back, Preston Pearson. Slants to the left side. He's inside the 10 and down to the 6-yard line. Kellum has slipped into that ball game, and we have not noticed him. Thompson made the stop. Bill Thompson, a workhorse out of Maryland State. But Preston takes it down to the 6.5-yard line. Pearson and Fuqua are the running backs. We've gone all afternoon with Franco and Steve, and they've done a good job, but they get a rest now. And with a core of fine running backs, they come up with Fuqua and Pearson. 2 more good ones. Joe Gilliam gives it to Frenchie off the right side, cuts back, dives down to the 1-yard line, maybe the 1.5. Running to the right, cutting back to the left. And Frenchie Fuqua. Again, Thompson in on the play, and with him was Charlie Greer. So let's see now. We got a first down, and the ball is at the 2-yard line, first and goal.
Nice running by the Frenchman, who happens to be prominently displayed in Esquire magazine this month, rolling on the turf, attended by 2 beauties.
Hand off, Frenchie. He's in there, right through the middle, standing up. They opened it up for him. The guys down in the trenches did the job. Clack, Mansfield, and Webster right in the middle. And in he went. So that one took 4 plays. And they went 16 yards in 4 plays. Early in the 4th quarter, Girella will attempt to have the point. This is the first time we've been ahead in this Bloomin' ball game. Walden holding. Ball is down. Girella kicks it. Great rush on him. It is good. And again, that was Thompson who came firing in there, but it was good. 35-28 Pittsburgh. Now a break in the action. We'll be right back.
Bucknell giving Franco Harris and Steve Davis a rest here early in the 4th quarter and using Pearson and Fuqua, and they did the job, got the Steelers in for another score, and the Steelers now lead 35-28. Marv Kellum, the guy who made the interception that set up the touchdown drive, that short touchdown drive. Marv Kellum is a 6'1", 225-pound rookie linebacker from Wichita State. And again, Andy Russell blitzing, screened the quarterback, Ramsey, and the ball squirted right into Kellen's hands, and it was a big break for the Steelers.
Armstrong and Thompson are deep for Denver. Here comes Chiarella kicking from right to left. And he kicked it that way almost as well as he kicked it the other way. Down to Thompson at the 1. Here he comes reverse, bumps into Armstrong. Armstrong's behind the 5. They're after him. He picks up a block. They get him at the 11. Thompson tried to reverse the ball to Armstrong. He did reverse it, actually, but they ran into each other. Armstrong got behind the 5, slipped, and went down on one knee, got up, and was snapped at the 11 by Donnie Shell. So the Broncos on that attempted reverse get it to the 11-yard line. I think they might have been better off coming straight upfield with it.
Yeah, and when you try to execute the reverse and bump into one another like that and look silly, it's very bad because they've fallen behind. Now they look silly, and it can take a lot out of a team.
Well, I'm afraid to even think it. Van Dusen and Moses wide. Ramsey, the quarterback. And Ramsey gives that ball to Armstrong. Look out. Here he comes up over the 30 and onto the 34-yard line. Fake by Ramsey and a follow-through on a fake pitch out. And there came Armstrong wading through with Glenn Edwards, the free safety, to bring him down at the 34.5-yard line. And Denver has its 14th first down. Steelers have accumulated 23. It is 1st and 10 for the Broncos, and here they come again. This has to be one of the wildest. All right, here is a wide slot man, Little out to the left. One setback. Ramsey drops back. They hit him. He fumbled the football forward. It's loose on the ground, and the Steelers have it. Steelers have it. It bounced around as he was hit. Lou, tell me who got him on the initial hit, and we'll watch here. Ernie Holmes got the hit, and L.C. Greenwood recovered the fumble at the 32-yard line. And this defense, once again, has been something else. It has turned the ball game around.
Oh, holy cow. Fats Holmes hit Ramsey amidship. Crush, damn, suck. It was sickening, especially to Ramsey, who gave up the football. LC recovering. The Steelers now have a chance to fatten their lead up. They have a first down at the Broncos 32-yard line. That Steeler defense is doing a job.
William drops back short, fires quickly. Lewis on the run, takes it on the slant at the 23 and goes down at the 20-yard line. Johnny Rouser nailed him. Frank Lewis came off that flank very fast, slanting in, and took the sharply thrown ball. Gilliam took just 2 steps back, fired sharply to Lewis, and they advanced it down to the 20-yard line, and the Steelers have picked up a first down. That is their 24th. Joe Gilliam has thrown 34 passes, completed 22 on the afternoon.
And if you throw in about 5 or 6 that should have been completed that were dropped, holy cow, would he have some figure.
Gilliam reminds me of the man who came to dinner. I don't think he wants to give up this job. Here he is firing complete to Randy Grossman at the 10. Grossman fights his way laterally to the 7-yard line. Brought down by Thompson, and the flag is down. Penalty marker is down, holding the call against the Steelers. Tough break.
Well, that would have been Grossman's 4th catch of the day. Joe's gone to him 4 times, and he's got every one. Randy did not think he played a good game last week, though he had some nice catches. He thought his blocking was bad. So we'll have to check with him after today's game and see what he thought, because, if he can do a job blocking, he is some kind of weapon, because he can sure get loose and hold the ball.
10 yards back to the 30-yard line on the holding call. First down and 20. Meantime, the clock is stopped at 10:38 to play. Steelers leading 35-28. First time in the ball game that they've had the lead when they went ahead this time. William has them in the eye. Now they shift Preston Pearson off the top of the eye to the right side. Lewis to the right. Smallers to the left. And Gilliam looks out to the right. Holds on to it. Now fires on the delay. And Lewis tries a leaping catch, but it was too high inside the 10 around the 8-yard line at the sideline. He was covered by Charlie Greer. Lewis made a great effort to get up there, but it was just a little too high. Incomplete pass. And here they come on now with Mike Simone. And Simone is replacing Duranko as Denver will go with 4 linebackers. See what else they're doing. They're bringing on Ed Smith in place of Barney Chavis. 2nd and 20 at the 30.
You notice that Johnny Riser still plays with his shirt tail out, just like he did in Pittsburgh. Mike Sandusky, a guard, used to play with this shirt tail. I remember the little hot water boiler guard for the Steelers. Looks sloppy.
Gives you a little more liberated feeling. William fires under pressure, complete to Grossman at the 13. Wrestled around at the 14, and they tie into Randy Grossman. Grossman, the tight end, makes the catch, and Tom Jackson, the initial contact. And they will spot it at the 13-yard line. Bill Thompson came over to help out. It took a crowd. Now I think they have it at the 14. That's where they finally put it down. Third down and 3 yards to go. That will be number 36 for Gilliam with 23 of them completed. Tight end Randy Grossman's fourth catch officially of the afternoon.
Yeah, his dad Joe flew in for the game today. Hasn't missed a game yet anywhere, exhibitions or anything.
All right, we have Lewis to the right, then Stallworth to the left. Gilliam in the pocket, now has to run out there after him. They get him. First down. Good pursuit by Mike Simone. And they got Joe back at the 26-yard line. In the meantime, the penalty marker is down. And we're applauding. Gilliam is applauding. So apparently something's pending against Denver, and this could nullify the sack. Defensive holding against the Broncos. It is 5-yard penalty and a first down. Where does that put the football? At the 21-yard line. So that's from the spot of the foul. Lighting the brakes now, going the Steelers' way. I don't understand that. I lost something there. Grossman was where? Down at the 14. Steelers 25th first down. Shifting out of the eye. Pupil to the right and Pearson to the left. Williams faking, looking left, firing. And Stallworth has the ball got up into the arms of one of the Bronx. Here he comes over the 15, out to the 20, breaks 2 tackles over the 25, the 30, 35. The 40 still running to the 45 and back to the 50-yard line. Holy mackerel, great play by Tom Jackson. Running. The pass was intended for John Stallworth, knocked away from him, and the man who did it was Calvin Jones into the arms of Tom Jackson. And now another Bronco has been hurt. And this is Calvin Jones, the man who broke it up, into the arms of Jackson, and Jackson made a sensational run all the way back to the 50, the first interception. Here we go again. Denver at the 50. 35-28 in favor of the Steelers. And the rush is on. Ramsey throws under pressure, completes it to the Pittsburgh 38 to Armstrong. And he's belted and knocked down immediately by J.T. Thomas. Otis Armstrong at the Pittsburgh 38-yard line. And it's going to be first down 10 for Denver.
And on that interception, which was Gilliam's first interception toss of the day, he executed a maneuver that I hadn't seen him try today. Usually Joe drops back, he sets up and then fires. This time he just took one step back and immediately fired that ball, drove it into the end zone. It bounced high off Calvin Jones into another Denver man's hands, and he was off and running.
At the Pittsburgh 38, it is first and 10. Handoff is given to Little, and he's nailed approaching the line of scrimmage by Joe Green. Green was there to meet him as he tried to come off the right side. And that will set the ball back just a little bit, about a half yard. Chuck Noll was talking about the Baltimore game and that very thing, the fact that that ball in those situations bounced in Pittsburgh's direction. It's a vital item because that one took the good Denver bounce right where the man was. Charlie Johnson is warming up again. So apparently we're going to see him again this afternoon. Ramsey quarterbacking at the Pittsburgh 38-yard line. Steve Ramsey on the long count. Deep reverse to Armstrong, running to the right, the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, and down he goes at the 23-yard line with Mike Wagner. Taking the tackle, helped out by Glenn Edwards. To the Pittsburgh 23-yard line. First down Denver, number 16 for the Broncos. And a very high-quality football game continues to rage up and down this field.
Oh, and this crowd is alive. They're pounding their feet. They're stomping. Just when you think the Denver Broncos are dead, when they appear to be without life, they've come storming back off a break.
I'm telling you, this ball game should be over right now. It's 4:57. And it's still going on. Ramsey is deep. Ramsey, look. Throws. Incomplete. His man was down on the ground at the 15. That would be Otis Armstrong. Mel Blount came over trying to make the interception. Fell over Armstrong, who was already down. And it's incomplete. Number 22 for Denver. 9 of them completed this afternoon, 2 interceptions. And the ball is returned to the 23-yard line.
Crowd wanted an interference call on Mel Blount, but no way. He played the ball perfectly legitimately, and it was a pass that was simply overthrown.
Over the football goes Bobby Maple. Out to the left. They send Riley Odom split. They send Jerry Simmons wide to the right and put Haven Moses in the slot on the right side. Dynamite. And back goes Ramsey. Ramsey is hit, fires, complete to Armstrong at the 16. Down, he's hit there for a touchdown. Armstrong at the 16 broke a tackle on Jack Lambert and went down and fought his way into the end zone at the flag. And the Denver crowd goes wild.
Yes, Pat Holmes beaming Ramsey just as he got rid of the ball, just an instant too late. And Otis Armstrong taking it along the sideline, getting away from Jack Lambert at about the 13-yard line, then escaping a tackle at the 1 by Mike Wagner into the end zone, just barely into the end zone, inbounds. And the Denver Broncos are now within 1 point of a tie ball game. It's the Steelers leading 35-34, and I guess we'll soon see it tied up here with Tim Turner going for the extra point.
16-yard pass and run play. I'm wrong on that. He caught it at the 16, a 23-yard pass and run play. Here's the kick by Turner. It is good. Got a tie ball game, 35-35, and there's a break in the action. We'll be right back.
Let's pause now for station identification. Well, there will be some criticism that Joe Gilliam perhaps should have played it more cautiously and perhaps set up a field goal that would have given the Steelers a 10-point lead. But I say no. Joe's style is to attack, and in a game like this, you got to keep attacking. Anyhow, they threw the interception. The Broncos made the most of it. It's a tie ball game.
Turner kicks off left to right, and he boots it long and high. Preston Pearson will measure it 2 yards deep in the end zone and take the automatic touchdown. So the Steelers will start at their own 20-yard line. 7:01 to play in the ball game. It's a 35-35 tie. And keep in mind, my friends, if it ends that way, there will be a sudden death overtime period.
Well, I'll tell you, pro football's objective this year was to enliven the game, put the offense back in, and this ball game today would seem to be some evidence that the rules changers have succeeded.
Great game to watch. Gilliam directs the attack. Somebody was offside. The handoff to Pearson. Sailed at the 19. And caught by Barney Shavis. Marker went down. Let's see who's charged. Illegal procedure against the Steelers. So the option is with Denver. And the Broncos are going to take the 5-yard penalty, setting the ball back to the 15, where it is 1st and 15. And that's a sign that you have a great deal of respect for your own defense.
Yep, and, this is the kind of trouble the Steelers were in throughout the first half. Getting bottled up deep in the hole where their choice of plays, of course, would be limited. So they're in that trouble again.
All right, Gilliam. At his own 15. Drops back. Goes to Franco at the 22, and down he goes. Franco leaps, pulls it in, hit by Ray May, and is upended at the 22, a 7-yard gain. That will be Gilliam's 38th pass of the afternoon, with 24 of them completed. 1 interception. On a ball batted away by the defender into the arms of another Bronco. 2nd down, 7. Over the ball goes Mansfield. here is Gilliam going to Pearson. Pearson is cut to the leg and held at the 27-yard line. Tackle made by Mike Simone, linebacker. So let's see, they picked up 12 yards in 2 plays. The John Ralston strategy is good because that would have been a first down from the 18. Now they have the third down play with 2 yards to go. As Gilliam has completed 25 of 39. Myron, I think you better stay here today and just make Windex running. Pearson is out and Fuqua is in. It is 3rd and 2. Gilliam drops back. Gilliam throws. Randy Grossman takes it at the 31-yard line, and he has a first down. He's immediately belted and knocked down by Johnny Rouser, the cornerback on that side. Steelers have picked up their 26th first down, and Gilliam has now completed 26 of 40 passes. What was billed as an aerial show has been just that. They set the ball up at the 31.5-yard line. Building Myron out of stay here. This is the extra sudden death. Gilliam fires. Lewis, great big catch, and he is upended at the 48-yard line. Morse is hurt. That was a clean shot, but a brutal one by Johnny Rouser. Lewis was in the air to take the pass, tipping the blind side. 49-yard line. And upended like a 10-10, and down he went, and he is shaken up and hurt. And I would emphasize it was a good clean hit by Rouser. Fine defensive play, a strong one. And they've been hitting hard all afternoon. And a great play by Lewis, who held on to that football at the 49-yard line. That will be the 27th first down. 41 passes, 27 completed. And Frank Lewis gets up. Reggie Garrett is in. Shanklin injured. Swan injured. We got Stallworth, a rookie, and Garrett, a rookie, at the wide receiver post. Marv, before this ends, we might need you out there. Might execute a trade today. One of the deepest wide receiver corps in the league has been decimated this afternoon. It is 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 49. The Steelers with the ball, 4:21 to play. Tie game, 35-35. At Denver, pitch to the left side to Preston Pearson. Needs a block, gets it over the 50, the 45, and out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Got a block from John Cole. Sprung him on the near side. Chased out of bounds by Charlie Greer, the free safety. And they will mark that ball in at the Denver 41-yard line. Gain of not quite 10 yards. The officials are going to take time to set it up. We have a Denver player injured. That is Mike Simone. Let's see what they can do. Randy Grossman is the tight end. He's played a great game there this afternoon. Stallworth and Garrett are the wide receivers. Black and Webster have been in there since way back early in the ball game at the guard. And here's the fake by Gilliam. A fumble. The ball is loose, and the Steelers recover it. Wow. Ball got away from Joe Gilliam and finally recovered by Gordon Revelle. But nobody else could hold on to it. Gordy nailed it back at the 48-yard line. A play. A loss of almost 8 yards. I think it's 7 yards. Third down, about 7.5 to go. Big third down play with long distance to gain, the clock turning at 3:32. And the last thing you want to do is turn the ball over to the Broncos. They're liable to eat you alive. Just eat you alive. Here we go. Gilliam. Back deep. Gilliam firing. Almost intercepted. Trying to hit Grossman, who's down on the ground at the 43-yard line. And coming up was Tom Jackson, who already has had an interception and a run back to the 50. Jackson could not hold it. He broke it up. First down. Bobby Walden in punt formation. Thompson and Greer downfield for the Denver Broncos. And this one is going down to the wire. And Denver will have the football back with more than 3 minutes to go. Walden kicks it away. High, wobbly. Fair catch called for at the Denver 11-yard line. And Greer pulls it in. So Greer pulls it in at the 11. The Broncos are 89 yards away from the touchdown. They're not that far away from Jim Turner territory, though. So the Steeler defense is called upon once again. Greenwood, Green, Holmes, and White up front. Ham, Lambert, Russell, the linebackers. Thomas and Blunt on the corners. Wagner and Edwards on the safeties. Here come the Broncos. Quarterback is Steve Ramsey. Setbacks are wide. Ramsey calls the signals from his own 11-yard line. And Ramsey gives the handoff to Floyd Little, running to the right, and he gets into trouble. He'll get about a yard. Blocker got in the way. The tight end, Riley Odom, got wrapped up in the play, and Jack Ham was in on the stop. And they're going to mark the ball at the 13-yard line, so give him a 2-yard. I think I've been 5 yards off, and I will ask your pardon for that. We were at the 6. They're at the far end of the field from us. So they were at the 6, and they picked up 2 to the 8. I had them at the 11. Ernie Holmes is out. Morris Kellum becomes a fourth linebacker for the Steelers, and he was in there before when he got the interception. Denver is at its own 8-yard line. I was 5 yards off. Ramsey shifts back into the eye. Gives it to Little, and Little cuts into the middle, stumbles, and goes down at the line of scrimmage. Little goes down at the line of scrimmage. Broncos could well be playing for time, but they need a first down, so they're playing a dangerous game. Because there's a guy named Girella that they might have to cope with. We're coming down to the 2-minute warning, and there it is. 2 minutes to go in the ball game. We have the official timeout down in the field. While there's a break in the action, we'll be right back. Clock shows 2 minutes to play in the ball game. The Denver Broncos in possession of the football, facing a third down solved situation. So they were at the 11. How did they get back to the 6? This game is enough to boggle anybody's mind. Ramsey steps in to call the signal. Ball at the 9-yard line now. 3rd and 12. And he gives it off to Armstrong, wading through people over the left side, and he's out to the 13-yard line. Steelers hold tight. Marv Kellum. Jack Ham. White. Give Ham the tackle. And it is 4th down now as they set the ball at the 12-yard line. Kahn is deep, along with Edwards. They set up around the Steeler 45-yard line. Bill Van Heusen will be the punter. Wind is not a factor. It's been negligible all afternoon. Clock turning with 1:10. Denver definitely wants to take all the time it can. It would settle at this point for the overtime. Van Heusen punts, and he punts it well. Long, spiraling. Taken at the 40 by Kahn. He's over the 45, the 50, the Denver 45, and he's nailed at the Denver 42-yard line. Hit solidly and brought down on the far side of the field. Kahn at the 42-yard line, tackled by Bobby Maples. Got a man hurt on the play. So we'll put the glasses. I think it's Maples. with Bobby Maples. So Maples made the stop. It's not the first time this afternoon that the impact, the ferocity of the tackle has simply just taken the wind out of the tackler. Many times out of the person being tackled. Steelers football continues from Denver after this brief timeout. Okay, at the 42-yard line. Denver with the football. Steelers with the football. We had an influx of fans into the booth here. Pearson and Franco Harris are the running backs, and Gilliam has had a consultation. 52 seconds on the clock. This crowd, sellout at Mile High Stadium, poised collectively right on the edge of their seats. Steelers deploy. Reggie Garrett to the right. John Stallworth to the left. Gilliam backs up. Gilliam throws to Franco, open at the 35, over the 30, down to the 25, and he runs to the 20-yard line. Franco Harris carries it down to the 20-yard line. And the clock is stopped with 43 seconds. Franco Harris coming into the open right in the middle of the Denver defense. So Pittsburgh calls timeout. That is the 28th first down. Gilliam has now thrown 43 times, completing 28. Remember, next Sunday afternoon, we do it all over again at Three Rivers. 4 o'clock start. Steelers and the Oakland Raiders. This will be the first meeting between these two clubs since Oakland knocked our team out of the playoffs last year at Oakland. Steelers with 2 timeouts left and Denver with 3. 43 seconds left on the clock. We deploy Reggie Garrett to the right, John Stallworth to the left. Pearson and Harris are the running backs. Somebody was offside. Steelers came off the ball too fast, I believe. Play is whistled dead. And we're getting a legal procedure against the Steelers. 5-yard penalty. That is a big one. 91 yards total in penalties this afternoon for the Steelers. Denver with 61. 152 yards, a cumulative penalty yardage against the two clubs. 42 seconds to go. Steelers come out of the huddle again. Here's Gilliam. He pumps once, then fires down at the 10-yard line. The ball pulled in by Stallworth, actually along the 11-yard line. It was tackled by Bill Thompson. Gilliam under great pressure, pumped once, spotted his target. Downfield and across. On a square-in pattern, Stallworth takes the pass beautifully. And Thompson was right on him, and they will spot the ball at the 10-yard line. Steelers take time. They do not have the first down. So that is the 44th pass he has thrown, 29 of them completed. Clock shows 33 seconds to play. The Steelers with one more time out. Just to go. See what it's going to be. Ball is at the hash mark now. Girella were to kick from this point, he would have about a 28 or 29 yard kick. William calling the signal. Gives it off to Franco, running to his left. Cuts back, drives down over the 10. He's to about the 8-yard line. Franco takes it to the 8-yard line, and he is brought down. Lyle Alzado and Barney Chavis. And they put the ball at the 8. The clock is turning. It's down to 10 seconds. Down to 7 there. The clock is still turning. They haven't called time. Tommy Bell is trying to get the clock stopped. They stop it with 5 seconds, and they bring Girella on. Roy Girella, on the season thus far, has hit on his only field goal try. And that was from the 30 to 39-yard range. This will be from the 15-yard line. It'll be a 25-yard attempt. Now, Tommy Bell has stepped in. The holder is Bobby Walden at the 15. A 25-yard shot for Roy Girella. Denver digs in for the rush. Snap of the football, it is down. Girella kicks it in his slot. All Steelers have won the toss at the beginning of the sudden death overtime period. They will receive. Keep in mind, the first team to score wins the ball game. If no one scores at the end of 15 minutes of play, then it will remain a tie. Turner will kick off. We have Pearson and Davis deep. And Turner kicks the air out of the football all the way off the field. So the Steelers will put it in play at their own 20-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. And here's Gilliam giving it off to Preston. Pearson finds the opening as they try to blitz. Comes over the 30, the 35, and up to the 38-yard line. Got beyond the line of scrimmage and found no opposition until he ran into the secondary, and Thompson brought him down and Greer covered him. So they pick up the first down.
38-yard line.
And the ball is out at the 38-yard line. Lewis will flank to the right. Stallworth. Out to the left. Stallworth the flanker. Lewis is the split end. Here's Gilliam running out of the pocket. Finds running room. Cuts downfield. Puts his head down and dives to the 50-yard line. A gutty performance. It appeared he would go out of bounds. He cut back. As he approached the defender, put his head down, and Mike Simone made the stop on him as Jefferson Street Joe made a dive to the 50-yard line for the first down. The 31st first down of the afternoon. Gilliam pitched the right side to Franco. Daring play. Takes it, dives forward, and he's to the 46-yard line. John Grant on the stop. Franco Harris takes the quick pitch to the right side from Gilliam. He's down to the Denver 46-yard line. 4-yard pickup on the play. Second down and 6.
The 46.
Ideally, if you can make 4 yards on each of the first 3 downs, you'd be in good shape all the time. This is a nail-biter. A cliffhanger. You name it, anything you want. Nobody has left this stadium. John Cole, Black, Mansfield, Webster, and Gravel in the interior line. Here is Gilliam under pressure, throwing to Stallworth at the 40-yard line. He is hit in the air. Just over the 40, and that is important because that's going to make the first down. He was hit and stopped by Calvin Jones. Now the crowd is booing, but that is exactly where he was hit. He crossed maybe by a foot. Went into the air, and Jones came up and racked him. And they have now moved the ball to almost the 39-yard line. That is their 32nd first down. The 46th pass. 30 of them completed. That means he's hitting almost at 66%. Gilliam back to throw again. He fires to Lewis, and it's broken up at the 30-yard line. Coming from behind him on the play was Johnny Rouser. Coming around Frank Lewis. We're going down and hooked at the 30-yard line, and Rouser stopped the pass. Number 47. I don't know whether the record book, I don't know whether I'll make it out of this one this afternoon. Wow. Whether it shows what the team record for number of passes might be. This is second down 10. Gilliam going to be sacked. Down he goes. Tom Jackson on the blitz. Got him at the Steelers' 49-yard line. Nice defensive play by Jackson. Now that's the first time officially that he has been sacked. He was sacked earlier in the afternoon, but the play was nullified by a defensive holding call against Denver. So Joe goes down on the sack. The most passes attempted by a Steeler team, 32. Back in 1955. Make that 52 against the Chicago Cardinals in 1958. And now they've thrown 47. Reggie Garrett replaces Frank Lewis. Garrett steps up to the right as the flanker. Stallworth splits left. Gilliam drops back. Gilliam has time. Gilliam throws long. It's intercepted. Kicked off on the far side of the field. And immediately Johnny Rouser is knocked out of bounds. Rouser intercepts. And Randy Grossman knocks him out of bounds. Now the Broncos have the ball at their own 42-yard line. And the Steeler defense comes back to answer the challenge. And Andy Russell locking it up with the defense. 9 minutes and 15 seconds to go. The Steelers kept the football. 5 minutes and 45 seconds. And now it belongs to Denver. Here come the Broncos now at their own 42-yard line. The quarterback, Steve Ramsey, is the man in the slot on the right side. Ramsey is back and looking. They're after him. Screen pass to the left side. Otis Armstrong has the football. And he's up and out of bounds near the 50-yard line. Chased down on the far side of the field by Jack Lambert. As the screen didn't form. All right, we've got Steve Burnett, three-year man from Rhode Island, a defensive left end. And he's playing head-to-head with Riley Odom. And here they come at him. Ripping right through there and down over the 45 to the 43-yard line was Otis Armstrong. Lambert and Wagner made the stop. And so they go right for the spot vacated by the injury to L.C. Greenwood, and they have it at the Steeler 44. First down, and that is Denver's 18th of the afternoon. Greenwood is back out on the field, ready to go. Going to hang in there. Denver lines up in the I formation. Floyd Little at the top of the I. The handoff is to Armstrong coming off the right side over the 40. And he is down to the 35-yard line with a tackle made by J.T. Thomas. Slant off right tackle that time. And Denver has now moved the football to the Steeler 36-yard line, where it is second down and 1 yard to go. Make it about a yard and a half. 35-35 in sudden death overtime. 8:04 to play in the sudden death period. And the Broncos come roaring back after the interception. They line up at the flanker to the near side. They're in the I formation. They split Jerry Simmons to the left. Haven Moses to the near side. They stay on the ground. They hand it off to Armstrong, and he digs for the first down at the 33-yard line. White on the stop. And for the first time this afternoon, the Broncos have been able to eat up yardage running against the Pittsburgh forward wall. Back on the field comes Bill Van Heusen, replacing Jerry Simmons. Over the football goes Bobby Maple. He'd been shaken up earlier in this game. Steve Ramsey is the quarterback at the Pittsburgh 33. Ramsey gives the ball to Armstrong. He's through the middle, down over the 25, dives into the 23-yard line. Tackled by Jack Lambert. And they have the ball at the Pittsburgh 23, and it is going to require a measurement, I believe. Ball is spotted. They have determined that they do not have the first down at the 23. Clock is turning. 6:32. The referee just gave the signal to start the clock. I don't think anybody had stopped it. Here's the handoff taken by Armstrong. Fights his way off the left side, and he goes to the 21-yard line. The 21-yard line. First down, Denver. 20. First down. Andy Russell on the tackle. Ball is marked almost back at the 22. And Denver is definitely in Turner territory. No question about it. 35-35 ball game. Sudden death period. The The game has now progressed through over 3.5 hours of play. Steve Ramsey calling the signals. Here's Ramsey giving the ball to Floyd Little, running to the left, trying to turn the corner, puts his head down, and he's stopped along the 20-yard line. Andy Russell got to him. Helped out on the play by Jack Lambert, the middle linebacker. And he'll pick up a couple of yards to the 20-yard line.
So far in this game has gained 135 yards.
Announcement now that Otis Armstrong has picked up 135 yards rushing for the Bronx. Jerry Simmons comes back on the field, replacing Bill Van Heusen. And they have stayed on the ground. Second down 8 at the Pittsburgh 20. Slot left formation. Here is the give to Otis Armstrong. Almost caught behind the 20. Slips away from Jack Ham and nailed at the 19-yard line. Up to get him, J.T. Thomas, along with Jack Lambert. That brings up the third down play. Right now, if they can hold them at this point, they would be kicking from about 37-yard range on the field goal. Not a tough job for Turner. All right, the Broncos are out of the huddle at the Steeler 19-yard line. The third down play. Ramsey's going to pass. No, deep handoff. Otis Armstrong coming around it. He is nailed back at the 24-yard line. Otis Armstrong coming around. Jack Ham makes the tackle. At the 24-yard line. Turner's had one field goal, 1 point after, and he kicked that field goal between 30 and 39 yards in that range. And this one is going to be at least a 40-yarder, maybe a 41-yard attempt. Clock continues to turn. Charlie Johnson will hold at the 31-yard line. The goalpost back at the end line. It will be a 41-yard attempt. Steelers poised for the rush. Rush is on. He kicks. It is so good. Off to the right side. Off to the right side, so the clock is stopped. 3 minutes and 13 seconds to play in the sudden death overtime. Steelers takes over at the previous spot, which is the 24-yard line. And Preston Pearson runs to the right, steps back inside tackle, picks up a couple of yards, and is stopped by Tom Jackson. So it is 2nd and 8. The Steelers at their own 26. 2:32. Gilliam throwing. Caught beautifully by Franco at the 32-yard line. He's immediately nailed. Harris coming into the middle of the Denver defense. Franco Harris, the catcher, nailed by Ray May and Tom Jackson. Now that is the 49th pass unofficially thrown by Joe Gilliam. Third down. Short 2. Ball is just inside the 33-yard line. Steelers have the football, 3rd and 2. Just inside their own 33. Denver wants to stop them here. Gilliam lines them up. 2 tight ends. Tight offense. Gilliam gives the ball to Franco. Slanting off to the left, and he's nailed along the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Tackle made by Ray May, who has been a tower of strength all afternoon. So the Steelers will have to give up the football. No way you can take a chance here. Bobby Walden is on. Minute and 45 seconds to go in this overtime period. All right, Walden standing at his own 20. We have Thompson and Greer deep for Denver. And Walden kicks it. Wobbly end over end. Greer fields it at the 30. Missed on a tackle. Now running with the football, wading through people. He gets up to the 40-yard line. Reggie Garrett came down and took the quick shot at him and missed him, and Jim Wolf nailed him finally at the 40. Clock stops automatically. Ball is at the 39.5-yard line. The Broncos have a minute and 36 seconds, so we're not out of trouble yet. has been every bit fine a ball game as you could want. And if you're a fan here in Denver and you wanted to get your money's worth, you're certainly getting it this afternoon. Bobby Maples goes over the football. All right, we've got the quarterback Ramsey throwing complete to the 40-yard line, pulled into Otis Armstrong, and he wiggles forward to the 42 with Jack Ham holding him. Very short gainer, about 2 yards on that one. Denver's 24th pass, 11 completed. Gilliam has either 49 or 50 passes on the afternoon. Here's the shot to the 45-yard line on the pass intended for Floyd Little, broken up by Andy Russell. Russell reaching around Floyd Little to break it up. White is injured. He's okay, getting up slowly as they put the rush. What they would like to do would be to get to Ramsey and promote a fumble. And their strategy has to be geared to two things: containing Denver at this point with 1 minute 9 seconds remaining, and also never giving up on the idea of getting that football back. You're playing for two items. You want to keep from losing it. You'd like to get it back and get a win out of it rather than settle for the tie. Here's Ramsey going back. Rushes on. He's got time. Firing long downfield. Almost intercepted. Down at the 30-yard line, intended for Jerry Simmons. Mike Wagner went as high as he could in the air as the pass was overthrown. He could not reach it, and it fell incomplete. That brings up a fourth down play, and now Denver will have to give up the football. Steelers have 2 timeouts remaining. Clock is stopped on the incomplete pass. So Pittsburgh will get another shot at them. Van Heusen standing back at his own 27-yard line. And we have Glenn Edwards alone, still looking for a possible trick. Joe Green pointing as they snap the ball to Van Heusen, and he angles it toward the sideline. Edwards takes it at the 10, stumbles, gets up. Now running to the right. Now running back to the left. Being a blocker. And he almost got loose, but he's trapped and brought down, crossing the 15 at the 16-yard line. He almost got loose, but was nailed by Paul Howard. And he was wiggling and looking for an opening. And he's at the 16-yard line, 50 seconds remaining. Clock stopped automatically. Ball at the Pittsburgh 16, the Steelers. 84 yards away from Bader. First down 10 in the sudden death period. Joe Gilliam looks at a 3-man rush. They got 4 linebackers in there. Gilliam back deep. Gilliam cranks up, throws down the middle. In the air, almost intercepted. Broken up by Bill Thompson. Intended for Lynn Swan, who just re-entered the ball game at the 40-yard line. And Thompson had a hand on it, and Jackson coming across made an effort to get to the football unsuccessfully. I have got Gilliam with 50 passes, and I could be off on that. That's unofficial. If he reaches 52, he will tie a club record. If he throws 53, he will have a club record. 44 seconds, still with 2 timeouts. Gilliam gives the ball to Preston Pearson. Pearson running to the right, cuts back over the 20, fights his way up to the 24-yard line. John Grant on the tackle for Denver. 34 seconds, 33, 35 ball game in sudden death. Steelers are letting the clock run now, down to 27 seconds. Not using their timeout. Now, whistle blows and they're coming out of the huddle. So apparently with this field position, they're not worried about preserving time. They don't want to give up the football to Denver again. Ball's to Pearson. Pearson running to the left. On the 25, and the Steelers apparently decided to settle for the tie at this point. Pearson is nailed at the 26-yard line. And there you are. The gun sounds. The end of the sudden death period. The end of the ball game. The final score and a good one. Pittsburgh 35, Denver 35.
Today's episode is brought to you by thisdayintheNFL.com. celebrating football's greatest moments, one day at a time. Listen to classic broadcasts, explore historic games, and keep the legacy of the NFL alive at thisdayinthenfl.com.